Boom! We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai. And joining me tonight, or I guess this afternoon, we have. Oh, you haven't come up with a nickname for this WTF, Chinoda.
I forgot.
Oh, fuck so you! Fuck you, Chinoda! You fucking.
No, I got it. Today I'm the cheesecake man.
Oh, that's true. You are eating a fat cheesecake. That's right. And as always, wonderful thanks from our boy Burger from the Geeks in the City podcast for joining us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is... No, I don't actually talk like that.
I thought you were doing a Steve Bloom impression there for a second. That was pretty good.
I don't. That's actually how my grandfather talks. He talks like an old, vampire for some weird reason.
That's cool, though.
That is cool.
And some of my greatest memories are just being like, hey, Grandpa, you have $1? $1 you would like. Well, why don't you ask your mother, could she pay me back from last week?
That sounds like something my mom would say when I asked her for money. It's like, why don't you go talk to that bitch you owes me money?
That bitch is my mother. Stop
that. Thank you for being here. You must be the most busy voice actor I know who does more than just voice acting. Like, what keeps you busy is not the voice acting, it's everything else you do.
Yeah, man, I've done... Maybe I should invest in becoming a vampire myself. I could probably get more stuff done in a day.
Burger Aranagi.
I'm just saying, man. I see my wife for 5 minutes and we live together. I was
damn.
God damn.
Ouch. Ouch. That sucks.
Sniddles wants to know how long you could hold that voice on stream.
What? Just talking like this all day? I don't know.
How long do you think it would be before it got annoying to you?
Man, I don't know, because it's not that's literally how my grandfather talks, so it's not annoying. I would imagine how long it would be before it's annoying for someone else. So to me, it's literally he just talked I remember we was playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, very long, old Xbox 360 Toxic Chat edition. Just
the good times, yeah.
The racial slur edition of Call of Duty.
Yeah. Stop camping, you bitch ass people. I'm like, damn, Grandpa.
Wait, how old was your grandpa during these times?
My back
30-year-old grandpa.
Nah, my grandpa is right now he's probably 83. Back then he was probably late 60s or late 60s, 65 or something like that. My grandpa's really good with staying up on trends. He would he would watch anime with me. He wouldn't know what was going on, but he would be he knew what Pokemon was, but he kept calling it Pokemon. And I'm like, Pokemon. It's God, Pokemon. I'm so then we would watch Yu-Gi-Oh! He bought me my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. That was a bunch of fake cards.
Bootleg Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck.
He didn't know to look for the little holographical thing on the right side, the little box thing to let you know if they was real. He got scammed.
Amateur mistake.
I had a Slifer the Sky Dragon that said big red ass dragon. I was like, oh, damn. But I'm over here stopping you from your proper introductions.
Oh no,
stories are great.
This is the kind of shit I love to do on WTF. Just these rambling bullshit. We were talking about it before we streamed. This is the first full year you've done voice acting full time, right?
Yeah, man, it's insane. First full year doing acting, strictly this, nothing else but
and
this.
Teaching voice acting too.
And teaching, being a TA and all that stuff. It's pretty cool, man. It is. It's crazy to think about because 4 years ago, because you gotta think before the pandemic. But
that's how we have to think about everything now. Was it pre-COVID or post-COVID?
Yeah, it's two different lifestyles. It's this is before I went into the hyperbolic time chamber.
It reminds me, because I'm old enough to remember it. It reminds me of 9/11. Everything just in the years after 9/11, everything was pre 9/11, post 9/11.
Yeah, things was different. Things changed because before I was doing stand up. That was my life. That's what I thought I was going to do forever. I was like, I'm pretty good at this. I'm making good money, and I was working at a school. So I was like, all right, cool. And then like God was like, all right, no stand up special for you. And matter of fact, no one gets a stand up special anymore. So I had to pivot and voice acting. I was really broke for those first 2 years, like extremely unhealthily broke, because like rent, like my landlord was like, hey, you don't got to pay this rent, but like it's gonna stack up. And I'm like, if I don't have the money during January, I'm not gonna have 4 times that amount when April come around. Like I'm gonna still be broke.
Yeah.
And like
You're only making it worse then.
Yeah, it's like let it go. Like everybody was like that. Like we're gonna let it go. We're gonna give you a break, but you still owe us this amount of money. And I was like, all right, you're not really. It was just rough, but that really opened up the doors for voiceover. I was just like, man, I'm gonna just sit and do this all day. It took a year and a half of non-grinding before I got anything. And then at the end of that year, damn,
Shinoda just did, I was about to say like Shinoda was like he'd frozen time because he wasn't moving.
It was so inspirational. He was like, I'm about to do it right now.
His internet just said nope, nope.
Like, doing nothing? Bet I got you. Oh man, but it was just that, and I did it long enough where like I guess people saw the talent, people saw the effort, and it just worked out. It's the same. It's crazy to still think about. Like man, like 2 years ago, I would not imagine this, and now I get to like do the thing. Like, dude, my first year doing it, I got to do anime. That's insane.
Yeah. Like, I think a lot of voice actors, they start in like commercials and stuff like that.
A lot of voice actors start doing. I think a lot of voice actors just start doing like little bit things and stuff like that. Because anime don't pay. Like I told you, anime don't pay anything.
We had an entire episode where we talked about that on the podcast about like non-unionized work and.
Yeah, I was like, did 9? Check IMDb right now. FK Arena. I did the most, probably in 10 episodes.
Oh,
got paid like $100 and something. Like 200, I think the most. Yeah, it doesn't pay anything. So like, I can only imagine those people. If you think anime gets one season, if you think you're mad about it, hoo-wee.
Let me tell you about these 18 characters I voiced in this video game and only got paid for one job.
Oh shit.
Also, welcome back, Shinoda.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have no clue what happened.
Your internet was so inspired by his story, it just said, I can't do this anymore.
It was like, do nothing. I'm doing that right now. Let's do it.
It was tired of your cheesecake.
I stopped eating it for now.
For now. Pre-COVID
Look, I haven't done anything but raid today, so like that's my first meal of the day.
You sad boy. Pre-COVID was the before times and the long ago. You're absolutely right. All right. So should we actually get into a couple of the questions from our Discord server?
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right. One of them is, I'll just throw this out for all of us. We can maybe build up this team as we go along. It comes from Classy Ulysses. Wants to know which 7 main characters from shonen anime would be the perfect lineup for an anime Justice League. Let's
you
actually,
gotta have the big 3 in there. Like that's no doubt.
I feel like you're almost obligated to have like Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo.
And no one likes the dude from Black Clover. Like,
no,
Asta's cool.
No,
Asta is definitely cool, but
we don't need someone whose power is fucking
Alex,
screaming.
You didn't even watch the whole thing. It does get better.
I watched enough.
Yeah, you watch enough. AKA, you didn't watch the whole thing. Shut up. Oh. No, it does get actually better, though. You could argue that you shouldn't have to wait for it to get better, but that's a whole nother topic.
Can we put Tanjiro in this from Demon Slayer?
Honestly, I would put. You got to put Kenshiro in there from Fist of the North Star. Because
we got to include a JoJo. We got to include at least one.
Which one though?
I think you got to go Jotaro.
Jotaro is the most iconic.
Either that or JoJo.
Yes, yeah.
I really like Jotaro though, man.
Jotaro is my favorite JoJo.
I really like Jotaro, yo. Like, if I had to pick like my own like what seven people from the Justice League, it would mine would be very simple. Goku, Ichigo, Luffy. That's three right there. Then you have Gintoki as the Flash.
All
That's my Flash. That's the comic relief.
right.
Then you have my man Soma from Shokugeki. That's the cook. He t- that's the cook.
He's the one that's taking care of everybody.
He's the one that's just making sure everyone's fed. All right. Then you got Senku for medicine and things like that. What number am I?
You
at?
need you need one more.
Need one more, and then you got like you just bring it. I feel like I need a female in here, or I will be hated upon like tremendously. Man, I was just gonna say you put in Saitama. That's really who you call when stuff.
If you wanted a female character, why not Maka from Soul Eater?
Oh yeah, that's a great.
I would rather go with Rimuru.
Oh, from Slime Tensei.
Gender neutral. Yeah, that counts.
I'd rather go with Rimuru.
Okay. I dig it. I think if I had to pick 7, I'd put in the big 3 because I almost feel obligated to. Naruto, Ichigo, Luffy. I would go probably with Jotaro for a JoJo. Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. I would put Tanjiro in there because we need like the heart of a group, and he's gonna cry for everyone when he kills him anyway.
Ichigo is not the heart.
Nah, Ichigo's a savage. Let's be real. He is a savage.
He is definitely the savage. Like afterwards, he'll have the introspection, but not during. Tanjiro will have the introspection while he's hacking a motherfucker to death.
It's true.
And you know what? I've already mentioned. I'll put Maka from Soul Eater in there because we need the girl power.
All right.
And if you put Maka in there, you get a freebie with Soul. Because they're true. A package deal.
That's 2 characters. Does she?
Cheating a little bit, but it's allowed. They are a package.
There's a
Damn,
part of
this is hard.
There's a part of my brain that's like, so there's different like leagues for like, now let's say if we were teaching like a new generation, right? So then I would have like Kuro Sensei in there. Midoriya, Gon, like Tanjiro, like under the tutelage of like Kuro, man, like just those 4 alone would be damn near unstoppable, right? And then you throw in Bulma from Dragon Ball Z just as the tech to get things fixed. So that's 5 right there. Who's another like young like protagonist that is like Yuji from I would say Yuji. Damn, what's the from Jujutsu Kaisen? I can slide him in there.
Okay.
He got the whole demon thing. I wouldn't put Asta in there though. I would probably put part of my brain want to say Ash Ketchum, but it took him like 30 years to win to be a world champion.
Hey, at this point, Ash Ketchum is like a fucking employer's dream. He is a 10-year-old with 30 years of experience.
With all the work experience in the world. Look, man, like as I gave up a long time ago. I'm happy he did it, but like a parent, like that's the equivalent of like one of my cousins calling me and they're like, I finally got my high school diploma. It's like, bro, it's been 25 years. I don't care.
You're 55 years old.
So what? Like, what are you going to do with it now? But I mean, Ash is eternally 10 years old, I guess. He never grows up, so.
He's accomplished a lot in his 10th year of life, I will say that.
I know. It's like, damn. Like, he really gets a lot done in a day. Like,
yeah, he does.
Like,
time works different in that, all right? Let's be very real.
Would no one put Edward Eric in their group?
No, I would put him there.
Edward Elric, and we kind of skipped over him.
Like, Alchemist is no joke, yo.
That's true. It's a good question. I don't know. There's so many different ways you can go with this. I will say, if I could expand the list a little bit and have like somewhat non-shonen-esque characters in this, I might put the Major from Ghost in the Shell in as like a tech expert.
That's true.
Because I don't really consider Ghost in the Shell to be strictly shonen. It has shonen aspects to it, but it's not really a strictly shonen anime.
There's a lot of drama going on there.
So, do you have your 7 yet, Shinoda?
I do. Big 3, obligated. Okay. You gotta. Edward. Cool guy, smart. You're funny as hell too.
You're unintentionally doing the live long and prosper thing. Nice.
Oh, I didn't even mean to. Aaron Yeager.
Oh, fuck that.
Probably not the greatest idea to put him with a team. Like
the greatest international villain.
Look, he did. This is before war crimes level. All right, before then.
Just coming up to random teammates. I hate people that are free. I'm like
a level of war crime to rival Usada Pekara.
Let's see. Alibaba from Maggie.
That's actually a good choice.
That's a good one.
All right, that's 5. You need 2 more.
Mm-hmm. Gotta put Gintoki in there because you gotta have comedy.
Okay, your comic relief character. Okay.
I'm telling you, he's good. I love Gintoki.
1 more. Who's your wild card? Come on. He's thinking hard about this too.
Oh, what's his name from Nah, that's barely a shonen. I'm thinking Eden of the East for a second. The main character from it. What's his name?
Takizawa.
No, you know what? Never mind. I got someone. Vash the Stampede.
Oh, Vash, yes.
Okay.
That would definitely be a wild card character for sure. All right. So there you go. There's our lineups for our Anime Justice League. All right, next question. Also comes from Classy Ulysses. Do you guys watch any documentaries? If so, what is your favorite?
Favorite? I watched the Nickelodeon documentary, and it was fantastic.
Is that the one that recently came out?
Yeah. Like last year, early this year.
Yeah, I think it was like early this year, late last year, something like that.
Yeah, it was really good. It's just like all the stuff that went into like building that company. I like things. I like fascinating things like that. I saw 12 Years of Slaves, and that made me want to choke people. I wouldn't recommend that. Like as a watch, I watched that and I was like, I just feel like I need to get revenge for.
I gotta choke a bitch.
I just. Come on, honey, we going to Starbucks right now. Just. But yeah, I mean that's really it. As far as documentaries, I don't think I have an all-time favorite. Like if someone was like, what is something that you'll be quick to show somebody? I don't think I have that. Not for documentaries, I don't think.
I think if I had to like point to, I do watch documentaries from time to time. Like one thing I love doing is watching like the science-oriented like YouTube channels, for all the content they put out, especially like the astronomy ones, because it's something I've always been interested in. One of my favorite documentaries I ever watched was BBC's Planet Earth. That was so well done, so well put together. Of course, narrated by David Attenborough, who you can never go wrong with. That voice is so iconic.
I know. Oh, damn.
And like everything is like, even here, life clings to existence. I can't do a good British accent. I'm sorry. Yeah, I love watching like nature documentaries and like astronomy documentaries. I will say one thing I've gotten into recently is more of like the long form. I don't know if you call them commentaries or reviews on YouTube. Like what was it? I think it was the guy that does Bright Sun Films. I cannot think of his name on YouTube. He does like goes to the abandoned places and talks does Defunct Land. That was one of the big shows that he does on YouTube. And recently he did a documentary that he did about the that sound that used to play during the Disney Channel like in between cards, that music that played, it was never credited. Like the guy never got any kind of credit or residuals for that music. And like it was a whole the whole video was about him trying to track down who it was that did this so he could get all the credit. Funny thing is, with all the stuff that happened with Disney recently with the CEO stepping down, it was the same day that video went out.
Oh shit.
It's like everyone was like, fucking Defunct Land drops this video, CEO of Disney steps down, because it's like saying Disney doesn't give their artists credit for shit.
Oh fuck! Did y'all ever see? Now that I think about it, did y'all ever see Stan Lee's Superhumans? It's old.
Yeah, it was
a little bit of it.
It was like a series, wasn't it, on Sci-Fi Channel?
Yeah.
I used to really like that. I used to love that.
I watched a few episodes of that.
WWE has this thing called 24, where it's like you just get to see like a wrestler's like life and things like that. Those are always good. Yeah, that's really it when it comes to like documentaries. For me, unless I'm watching like behind the scenes stuff of like an actor or like this is behind, like, once again, the Nickelodeon thing, right? If I'm seeing like the behind the scenes, like this is how Moana was made, this is how it sounded for The Rock to sing without auto tune, because but yeah,
because Dwayne Johnson can't sing.
The Rock can do a lot of stuff,
but he cannot sing.
The singing is not one of them.
He cannot sing. What's that?
I personally don't really watch documentaries too often, so I'm gonna go with something documentary adjacent. One of my favorite content creators, he's a science communicator. He's called Kyle Hill. He's made a lot of videos over the years. He has a specific playlist called Half-Life Histories, which is basically all about nuclear incidents. And it's beautifully put together, well researched, well thought out, scripted amazingly. I love it. He also has a series of videos called Expedition Chernobyl, where he basically went to Chernobyl right before the invasion of Ukraine, and he basically exposed it as how it really is, instead of how most people try to portray it as a horrifying place that's like full of radiation or whatever, and it's terrifying. It's like, no, he just exposed it. No, it's just a regular place that's been doused in radiation. Like, things are mostly fine now.
It's a very abandoned place that's been doused in radiation.
Very abandoned, but there is actually a good amount of people there. A lot of scientists that are still there maintaining it and keeping track of everything that's happened to the land and the animals over there. It's actually really, really greatly done. I would highly recommend checking that out. I don't watch too many documentaries anymore because like a lot of them just make me too depressed.
Yeah. But you were talking about behind the scenes stuff. One thing that's sort of behind the scenes that I really like to watch is on Netflix. And it's been multiple seasons now. It's called Formula One Drive to Survive. I love motorsports. I really love Formula One too. And it's basically where it's a show or documentaries show that follows a team around for an entire season. And just shows all the stuff that goes on, like getting to the tracks and practice and qualify, like all the shit that goes into it behind the scenes.
Yeah. Look, how could I forget? The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness. That is the one documentary that stands out. It is a documentary about Miyazaki from Studio Ghibli.
Oh, I've heard about this. I haven't seen it. Is it good?
It is fantastic. Because it follows his life and like what the production was like, and it takes you into his mindset. Anybody that likes Studio Ghibli, that's a fan of Miyazaki, it is something I strongly encourage you to check out. It's really 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 good. I seen it like once, and I can still vividly remember like the feelings I've had. It is maybe like twice, but it was like the first time I've ever seen a documentary, and probably like the last of like something anime related, right?
Mm.
It's not like I've ever seen a documentary on like this is how Funimation was born and how they underpay people, or this is how Netflix really got into like picking up the anime market. Like I don't see those things.
There was a Netflix or a documentary on Netflix. I want to say it was like 2 maybe 3 years ago at this point, about anime, and I watched it and it was so surface level. Like it didn't delve into anything.
It felt like it was made by people who liked anime. It just felt like they
It felt
just
like
found out what the word was.
it felt like it was made by like executives who thought, well, this stuff is kind of making us money. Let's just throw some stuff together that's about this. People will watch it.
Guys know what manga is? It's this thing. Yeah. That is the number one thing I will reach out to people. It's called Kingdom of Dreams and Madness.
Mm.
Came out 20. Man, I had just got out of high school around this time, so
A million years ago.
Yeah, pretty is a while. It was a while ago. But yeah.
Tell me
Check
about
it
it. The Great War Channel on YouTube is also something I do like. Orc in the chat mentioned it. It talks a lot about World War One, a war that's kind of been forgotten. Honestly, everyone talks about World War Two today, which obviously was the more destructive and costly war. But like World War One was the direct cause of World War Two. So. Wasn't it? 2013. Was it 2013 that documentary came out? I don't know.
Has it really been out for that long? Jesus.
Yeah, I got
Almost a decade now.
Yeah, that seems around the time. Yeah,
Okay.
that would make sense because I was in college. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Then the last question we're gonna do. I know that last time we did a WTF, we mentioned that every one of the questions that had been asked in our Discord server was gonna be answered here. Since there's only 2 regulars here, myself and Shinoda, I figured we'd pick 3 of them and then hold over the rest for our WTF on January 2nd, which I think myself and Shinoda, and now Burger, who knows what's going to happen. I think it's going to be good that we'll have more questions to answer. But the last question we're going to touch on here is kind of topical. It's from Horny Ozzy in our Discord server. What is your favorite Christmas song that is not a Christmas carol?
Huh?
Your favorite Christmas song that is not specifically a Christmas carol. Something like Silent Night or Jingle Bells or...
Aren't those Christmas carols though?
No, I'm saying something that's not like those.
Oh, something that's not like that, but is it? Can y'all give an example? Because
well, Mariah Carey is All I Want for Christmas Is You.
I've been so desensitized. Like that's all I hear at the mall. So
every American is completely desensitized to that song.
That and Wonderful Christmas Time. I was like, God damn it! If I hear these songs one more damn time, a Christmas song that's not a Christmas carol?
All right, while you think about that, so I used to work in a grocery store called Giant, and during Christmas time they played all the Christmas carols or whatever, and like Christmas songs as well on the loudspeaker. It was just playing constantly and consistently that my mind has tuned out all those songs. Like, even if it comes out, even if it came out on radio today, like I'm just going to work and I'm listening to the radio while I'm driving, I will not hear that song. Like, my brain will automatically tune it out. So I really haven't heard any Christmas songs or carols in years because my brain just automatically puts white noise filter on it. I don't have any favorites because of that. It's great, but at the same time, I'm kind of sad because I'm missing out on that, like, Christmas part of the songs.
If I had to pick one for myself, I'd probably say White Christmas by Bing Crosby.
But don't that, well, it's not a Christmas carol, so you're absolutely right.
I don't know. There's something about that song I've always just really liked. I think part of it is because it's about snowing on Christmas Day, and I live in a place where not only does it not snow on Christmas Day, it just doesn't snow. So there's always been some kind of a magical quality to that song to me.
I'm trying to really think of a song, and the only thing I can think of is a song I wrote.
Oh no!
Called "Pull Out."
Oh no!
Oh no!
That's a Christmas song.
I made it in December, so that's the only connection that's the only connection I have to it. I used to do song parodies, and like I took Childish Gambino,
oh no,
Redbone,
oh no,
and made it and turned it to a song called "Pull Out," and I remember I performed it on this for the first time ever, December 16th, 2017. Yep.
God damn.
I enter chat and the first thing I hear is a song I wrote called "Pull Out." Classic.
Yep.
Welcome, and Silly Frog. I'm sorry, that's the first thing you heard.
December 17th. It was a Sunday at an open mic, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna go over with the crowd, but I know I opened it as this is for everyone.
How did the crowd take it? I'm curious now.
Oh, it was great.
Hey, listen, with enough alcohol, anything is funny.
It was a good setup. It was a great setup to it. I was like, this is for everyone. This is for all these fellas over here who have these women for just a little holiday season. And it was just a reminder of pulling out when the going gets rough. And I don't remember.
It's good advice. It's good. It's great advice.
I remember one woman walked out, so I thought it was bad. I thought it was bad, but I saw two dudes in the back, and like I don't know if they just didn't brush their teeth, so like I saw like this yellow gleam, and I was like, that's a sign from God. That's
were they weeps?
I don't know what they were, but I know I finished the rest of the song, and at the end of it, I was taking pictures and shit. So like.
So you said one woman walked out. How do you know that she just wasn't someone who really liked cream pies? I mean,
you know,
this bitch in here talking about pulling out. You better not pull out with you and me.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe she was somebody that was really trying to get the bag, and I just fucked up her plan.
She had a grand plan, and you fucked it up.
I messed it up. I messed it up. They was gonna go home that night, and they was like, "Yup." And I put this whole message about pulling out. Don't be selfish. It's not worth it.
Orc also brought up Trans-Siberian Orchestra songs. Like their Christmas songs are also really good.
Which one was that?
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I gotta check that out.
You've probably heard one of their songs, even if you don't know the name. Sarajevo 1224.
Isn't that the best type of music though? When like you've heard it, but like
you don't know the name.
You just don't know it, but you're like, oh yeah, I've heard that before.
Like half of the meme songs out there. Like I know the song, I know what meme it's from. Fuck if I know what the song is called.
Yeah.
And then you just type like fucking shitty meme into Google. Boom, there's the song.
Oh damn.
The internet is a wonderful place like that.
I'm telling you.
All right, so should we actually get into some stuff that we want to talk about?
Sure.
Absolutely, let's go.
We were originally supposed to do this WTF last Monday, right after Thanksgiving, so I want to talk about that first, since I know that Shinoda wanted to talk about Turkey Day. What did you eat for Turkey Day, Shinoda? Please.
Let's see. So I actually got invited to my friend's house.
Friendsgiving.
For Thanksgiving. Yeah. No. I had a Friendsgiving after as well. This was
Oh, you
just,
got 3 fucking meals, you fat bastard.
No, 2, only 2. I did Thanksgiving and then Friendsgiving on the Saturday after. But no, we had a good amount of stuff. We got peas, corn, turkey that was already cut up so that it was just easier to have. Some damn good mashed potato, gravy that was simmered in the turkey juices. Oh man, that spread was nice.
He's making me hungry. I've done this to myself, but he's making me hungry.
I also had a fun experience of. So I've had sauerkraut before in my life. I've had it a couple times.
Sauerkraut is delicious.
I didn't appreciate it back then though. Like I was like, okay, I can eat this, but I don't like it. I had it again this year, and I'm like, oh, this tastes different. This is like good now. So now I actually like sauerkraut, and I gotta have more of it.
This is what these crackers down south like so much.
Yuck.
Like, I don't know if it's because I've had it a couple times now and I've gotten used to the taste, or if it was just different. I don't know what it is, but now I'm like, yo, this is actually a great side to go with a lot of things.
Sauerkraut on kielbasa is just perfection.
And of course stuffing, because gotta have stuffing. And then we did some... What did we have?
We don't have stuffing in the South. We have dressing.
This ain't the South.
it's very different. We don't put it in the turkey's ass. We just wait for the drippings to come out of the turkey's ass, and we spread that on some cornbread.
And then we went outside. We had a fire pit going outside, and we drank wine over the fire.
Now that's the good shit.
Yeah, it was a damn nice day. I got a little bit buzzed. It was nice. It was very nice. How about you guys?
Did you do anything for Thanksgiving burger?
I'm laughing so hard because I did the exact fucking opposite of absolutely nothing on Thanksgiving. I was playing.
Guess what? Me too, because I had to work that night.
I didn't have to work. I don't have to work. I had something I had to do the very next day. And it was just me and my wife, and I think we ordered out. Like, we ordered pizza because we was lazy. And all I remember doing was playing Mario Party on a Nintendo Switch.
Yo, let's go!
The N64 emulator version.
Oh, you went back. Oh, shit.
Man.
That I was supposed to play with my wife, but on her first turn, she hit the 1 dice.
No.
So she was last, so she dropped out, and I had to play with 2 controllers against 2 CPUs. Oh shit! And I still lost.
Why'd you still lose?
Oh no, bro! These dudes just kept spawning next to the fucking star. I was like, yo,
CPUs, they can't. That's too powerful for me.
Fucking told me like I'm over here next turn. Oh wow, a 10. Let me just grab that. Oh, all right. What? The star is like literally 3 spaces ahead of you. Well, let me grab that shit too.
The computer control player just rolling nat 20s constantly.
Oh, I was so fucking bad.
But at least you had fun.
You know, I don't even think I had that, honestly.
You just had a time.
At one point, it was just like, I ain't gonna fucking let these CPUs do this to me. And by the end of it, they definitely did do it to me. And I just lived with the L. I was like, man, fuck it.
Sometimes you just gotta take that L, man. You just gotta take it.
Hey, man. It be that way sometimes. But I'm glad your Thanksgiving was popping, though. Like, yeah. I got to live it through you just now. That's what I felt.
Vicariously through Chinoda.
I'm glad to hear that. I really am.
I mean, my Thanksgiving wasn't as poppin' as losing the CPUs in Mario Kart or Mario Party, but
I was playing with 2 controllers. Like,
but I did get to spend the day after Thanksgiving with my mom and dad. They actually came over and they brought all the leftovers from Thanksgiving dinner to my apartment, and we actually we ate there here in my apartment together.
that's nice.
Hey, to be fair, Alex, like that's when the food is really good because the flavors had time to congeal, and that's when it's real nice.
Well, especially the gravy. Because
Exactly.
that gravy was like as thick as fucking Jello, and you just shake the container. That gravy is going. Dong, 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 dong.
That's how you know it's gonna hit right.
I did get offered, and I was like, hell no. Like, people was like, yo, you just moved into your new place. Why don't we do like an apartment celebration to have Thanksgiving over at your place? And
Like
I
a
was
Thanksgiving housewarming.
And I was like, hell no. What? Have you lost your mind? Do y'all not know? I have carpet in my apartment. No, y'all not putting y'all feet on my damn floor. Absolutely not. And I think that's what sealed my fate. Like, right there. It's like, so.
That's the Mario gods were not smiling on you.
Oh, man. You know why I probably lost that Mario Party game? Because I went in there, I was like, I'm about to be Chris Pratt. And I got my ass demolished. Like, should have never put that bad juju on me. Like,
So since we brought it up, can we actually talk about the Mario movie that's coming out?
God.
I would like to talk. I would like to talk about it for 2 reasons. A, just how important is it that this movie succeeds? Like, we can shit on like Chris Pratt's performance, right?
Or we can shit on Nintendo, which is very popular to do right now.
It's very popular. They're over here canceling Smash tournaments and then being like, we didn't know.
Just taking just fat L after fat L.
The fact that that drama is still going on is keeping me alive and in good health. I love the tea.
It makes me wonder, like, if you're genuinely a Nintendo fan, and I mean, like, genuinely, like, you're a fanboy or a fangirl of Nintendo, and you know all this stuff is going on, my genuine question to you is, why? Why are you still a fan? This company doesn't like you.
They really don't. They really bank off your nostalgia.
They really do.
And like, you play Pokemon Scarlet? Yeah.
Okay, in fairness to Nintendo, this is one time where I will actually give them the praise they deserve. They are actually letting people get refunds. So, it's a step in the right direction. It's a very small step, but it's a step.
And don't change the fact that I had to play through that shitty game for like...
The fact that it launched like that, God.
See, if the last Pokemon game you played was Pokemon Red, you don't have to worry about that shit at all.
I mean,
you know it's crazy because like I was playing like Marvel's Midnight Suns, whatever that is right now. Like I'm playing that right now, and like I'm noticing, I'm like, yo, because I played Sonic Frontiers not too long ago either, and I'm like, I don't think I've played the game that's like next gen that hasn't fucking crashed on me randomly out of nowhere. Like,
that's sad. Jesus.
That these games just come out and they're like, oh man, don't worry, we'll put a patch to it. We'll fix it later. And it's like, damn. Imagine if that was the mindset during the PS2 era. Like, I don't think gaming would have been as thriving as it was.
Imagine this mindset before like internet connectivity to everything. Where the game you got was the game you got. There was no DLC.
That's it. It's like there's nothing else.
I think so. When DLC first came out in like the mid to late 2000s, I think there was a lot of companies that were kind of lax to do too much with it because they came from that time where you had to ship a completed game or the game was just fucked. And nowadays we see it being used as such a crutch by game developers as like, well, we'll get it to a nearly complete state to where it's at least shippable and then we'll fix it later.
Yeah, it's a damn shame, man. Like the amount of like I'm playing Marvel, right? And I'm like, and the only reason I'm playing it is because it reminds me of a game called Bait and Kaitos. It's like XCOM. It's very card based, which is something I can get into. Story, I ain't really gonna talk about that. But as something like strategy wise, I can do that. But it's like, fuck, I gotta pay for costumes. Like they got like $15 to have Wolverine dress up with a fucking cowboy hat. Like, are really
Everything
like,
is a microtransaction.
dude?
Seriously,
I
everything.
remember, I remember how mad I used to be on the PS3 looking at Dead or Alive, being like, why is there so much fucking DLC here? Like, like the amount of DLC here costs more than the fucking game itself. And like they're
Yep.
not even trying at this point. It's like here's the wedding dress pack, and it's like what's happening? Like who's putting these decisions together? And
Who's
like
buying it?
I will
and
say it's become really popular to hate on Rockstar for how they've handled like GTA Online. At least to their credit, all the DLC has been free. You just have to grind for the things that you get.
you know what I mean. And I don't have a problem with grinding as long as it's grindable. Like as long as it's like reasonable, right?
And I know that the major like complaint is that it takes so long to grind that obviously you're gonna buy the whole like shark cards in game.
Like, and that's the thing. It's like, bro, I gotta work at a certain time. I can't be like I don't like.
it a lot of game devs these days just don't respect a person's time is one of the biggest problems.
That and they
Like,
use the whole DLC thing as a crutch because they can just
No,
like we'll fix it
yeah.
later. It's the same thing as like we'll fix it in post.
I have a friend. I have a friend of mine who said that when he was a kid, he was only allowed to game on the weekend because he was doing it because his parents just wouldn't let him. And even on the weekend, he was limited to 3 hours of gaming.
Wow.
3 hours of gaming. Now
For the
you're
whole
talking
weekend or per day?
per day. So that's
Okay.
not. So that's
6 hours for 2 days.
That's 6 hours, man. The like the adventures he would go on that one and those 1 hour, those 2 hours was astonishing. If you replace that and you put it with, man, you had to grind for 45 minutes, so you probably only saw 5 minutes of story. Sheesh, Louise.
Yeah.
It couldn't. I just don't. I just don't see it possible. I just
Silly
don't see
Frog
it.
in the chat says it really well. They respect it so much you can practically buy time.
It's ridiculous, man. Going back to the Mario movie situation though.
We kind of got on a tangent there.
I know. I really want this movie to succeed because I want this to be there's a pro and there's a con here. Like as far as like how does the movie look? Well, it looks fantastic.
That's Illumination. It was gonna look good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I know a
that's
lot of
without
people's like
doubt.
a lot of people's like, oh no. I'm like, what? Have y'all not seen Minions? Like movies has always looked great. Like there's never a question about how the movie was going to visibly look. It was always about the story and who's voicing who. Is Charles Mansonet going to be Mario, right?
Nope.
And they were like, well, he's in the movie, he's just not Mario. And we got Chris Pratt. And the first trailer was like, man, he sounded like the chick from Bob's Burgers. Like Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. I'm like it sounded like I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe that was just a bad take he did. All right, and then I watched this new trailer and I'm like, oh damn, he is phoning it in. All right, let's go. I'm like, stop.
Like, we're really doing
To
this. This is
to
how
be
it's gonna
fair,
be.
to be fair, and you probably know this, Burger, but for animated movies or animated projects in general, sometimes in the trailers you get like alternate takes that don't necessarily make it into the final product in the trailer.
Yeah, always happens a lot of times.
You don't necessarily get that as much in live action movies. Sometimes you just get entire scenes that don't make the cut. But in animated like trailers, you tend to get a lot of alternate takes that don't make it to the final cut of the movie. So I was wondering if that was what we got too. Was like this was just a really bad take that just didn't have time to do the pickup for, and like we'll fix it later for the final product.
I doubt it. They are so like. There's a lot of quality control when it comes to this animation. It just doesn't feel it. Like when you hear how Jack Black is like his presentation of Bowser, it's like everyone is doable. Everyone is really good, It's just that and it's not like Chris Pratt can't voice act, right? He was Emmett in the Lego movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was an okay role, but him as Mario, it just feels like I look at it like this: when I watch Jack Black play Bowser, in my mind as a voice actor, I can feel, bro, this is probably one of the greatest things for him right now. He's super happy to play this character. You can just tell.
Well, he's a
And when
big
I
freaking nerd, so
super like it's like he's a fan. And then when I look at Chris Pratt, it's like, oh, it feels like it's a payday.
yeah, that's how it comes off in the trailer. Like you said, phoning it in.
And that's and like I know he could do it, and like it looked like, yo, look, I'm already working on this Guardians of the Galaxy movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really got all the time for this, so y'all gonna get the best. This is the best y'all gonna get. I want this to succeed because I like the idea of other man, I would lose my fucking mind if we got a Metroid Prime movie.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Like before any other franchise, like before the Legend of Zelda, because I don't think the world is ready for the Legend of Zelda movie just yet. But a Metroid Prime movie?
I guarantee you, if they ever do like a live action or even a animated version of Legend of Zelda, no matter who they get to voice link, because you can't have a silent protagonist like that who's your main character in a fucking feature film. Whoever they get will get shit on, no matter who it is.
And like we're seeing like the Sonic movie came out, and that's doing well.
For a damn good reason. The movies are actually really good.
I saw them.
Highly recommend them.
I'm like, this is pretty solid, right? But we've seen adaptations. Like I've seen a Prince of Persia film before, right?
Oh god, why'd you have to remind me of that?
wasn't all that great, right? I seen a Final Fantasy film before. It's all right. I'm not like unless we're talking like Avid of Children and things like that. But there hasn't been this real focus on this is a Hollywood budget like film. Like they're putting a lot of money into this Mario movie, right? They put a lot of money into the Sonic movie. So damn much that the studio that did it went bankrupt doing it.
Yeah. To that studio's credit though, they actually listened to fan like input and
I appreciate
it
that.
Shows.
Man.
It really shows.
If you're gonna set yourself on fire, at least do it for a good cause. And they definitely did. But like, if this Mario succeeds, does this open up the door for like a Kirby movie? Do I really want a Kirby movie? Do I want a Splatoon film? I think a Splatoon film could really work.
The crazy thing to me is, over the years, there has been ample opportunity for like Nintendo to do anime projects, and they haven't. And I've always wondered why.
I just think like gaming is so big now, where it's like it really can't be like denied, right? Like so, this Super Mario movie is a real big gamble, right? Because this is like you even see it with anime, right? Anime is now coming over here to theaters. Like,
yeah,
it's at selected theaters, but it's still in theaters. At one point,
it's getting wider and wider, though. Like Natai and I had been talking about this, how like really it popped off with Your Name. Like Your Name was the big thing that kind of opened the floodgates, we think at least. And now you're seeing more and more theaters be willing to have like whole weekends or entire like 2 or 3 weeks just dedicated to actual anime movies now. It's great to see.
Yeah, I love it. Like I said, I'm gonna watch tomorrow. Like I said, Quintessential Quintuplets tomorrow.
Wait, that's tomorrow?
You Burger, you tried with that title. You really did.
Oh, my bad.
It's a difficult title to say. Quintessential Quintuplets.
The anime with the sisters.
That where the second season completely nerfed how they looked.
Yeah,
those girls had some thick ass thighs and big asses in the first season, and now they look fucking like stick figures. I'm so pissed.
The anime with the budget, and then surprisingly for season 2, they was like, all right, not only are we gonna change your hair color to like black, which I guess is more next to the manga. I guess I don't know. But we're gonna give you the we're gonna give you we're gonna drop a lot of this budget. All right, we're gonna save some of this money so we can give this to the Mario movie. That's what it feels like to me.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm glad I get to see that now. Like that's going to be in a theater. That's crazy to me. I never thought like I would get to a point where I can on a anytime One Piece was Red Film. One Piece was just in theaters. My boy Jose was the engineer for that entire thing.
Oh shit,
Like,
really?
yeah, he did the entire. He was the sound engineer, Jose,
Hell yeah.
Sandoval. Um, that's insane to think about. He's in Texas. I'm over here in New Jersey. I'm watching it dubbed over here. Dragon Ball Z, the Broly movie, another big movie. Demon Slayer, Mugen Train, another big film.
The highest grossing film of 2020.
Now we're getting the Super Mario movie, and I'm all for it. But I want the focus. But like, clearly, when it came to casting, there was a big focus on. Well, we have to worry about marketing, and that's where I think Chris Pratt really falls in line, right? Because
He's a known name. He really
he's a
is.
known name. If like I can go up to 8 people right now and be like, "Do you know who Charles Manson is?" And they'll be like, "Who?" Right? I'm like,
as iconic
Mario.
as his voice is, a lot of people would just be like, "Who?"
Yeah, they wouldn't know, But people would be like, "Oh, I'll go see if Chris Pratt's in it." It's like Kevin Hart being in Borderlands. I'm like, why? Like, why is Kevin Hart in Borderlands and not Claptrap? Like that, I see no other role he could do.
Yeah.
But Jack Black's in it, so I'm like, I'm still cool with that. We're seeing a lot of like focus towards like these video game titles in Hollywood now, and that's great. But it's a double-edged sword.
We got The Last of Us coming out soon.
That's a whole like what's it like a 12 episode series?
Like 12 or 13 episode. Like it's on Netflix, I think. Hulu. I don't know where it is, but.
So how long does it take before we get some like we've always had Pokemon movies at the end of the day, but how long does it take before we get some of the other big hitters, before we get a Splatoon, an Astral Chain?
I mean, there is the more I hear about it, the more leery I feel about it, but there is apparently a Hollywood adaptation of Your Name coming.
Oh God.
Which I'm not necessarily, and see, that's the thing. I don't like the idea of taking something that's done and being like, all right, let's give it the Hollywood jazz.
Because 9 times out of 10, they're gonna fuck it up royally. I will say, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They could do it really great. They've already announced that it is going to be more or less Americanized, meaning the story is going to take place in America. It's going to be about American, teenagers, which I'm fine with. I think you can still tell. I think the story itself is not necessarily culture specific. I think it's something that can be adapted to other cultures. But I'm just so.
The story of Your Name is so good because it's about 2 people that live different lifestyles, but they're able to, in a sense, like complete like whatever each one of them is missing, they're able to fill in the void, right? Like the main dude, Taki, he liked his coworker, right? He liked his boss, and when what's her name, Mitsuha.
Mitsuha.
When Mitsuha was in his body, she was able to form that to the point where he was relying on her to be like, "Hey," was like when they
the ultimate wingman. You're literally into my head.
It's like, "Yo, go back and what am I supposed to do? We're going on a date." It's like, "Oh yeah," like that's very. And now when Taki was in, like, he was able to form like relationships on her, and she was able to fit in school better and all these things and like stand out. Could that be done with an American, like, from an American view? Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's all about culture. It's all about accepting who you are. And at the end of the day, other people who can accept you before you can. I can see that happening. Without a doubt. Like, easy. But when I see, like, this One Piece film, like, that's coming to Netflix, like, I get pretty mad, bro. Like, I'm like,
is it a movie or is it actually? I think it's a series.
Oh, it better be a movie. I can't stand 12 episodes of bad of of a real ass
Uh,
reindeer
d-
named Chopper. I can't do
don't
it.
don't get us started on Cowboy Bebop's live action.
Like, and it just goes to show sometimes when you do that, it just fails because it never has the source material in mind. It never has the man. It always have man. Who could we play or who could we get in here that can really like make this thing like stand out?
And sell it.
Yeah,
It's
like
marketing first, story second.
who like if someone was like, man, do you guys want to see an American version of this of a silent voice? I'm like, hell no, not a Hollywood version.
That's a story I feel like can be told across cultures because it's kind of
It
universal.
could. Once again, it could, but like I just don't like any of the Ghibli films, like Spirit Away, like a Hollywood version of Spirit Away. It just
The
or
Sixth
Princess,
Sense.
yeah, or it's like or Howl's Moving Castle. Like it, I just can't see it because I've seen shows get butchered already.
There's
That
also
was
some
like,
things like that I don't want to see in live action. Like I feel like animation is the perfect medium to tell that story. Like Spirited Away, that is the perfect medium to tell that story.
yeah, like I don't need to see live people like and I guess it's like because someone was like, so what if like Japan took Shrek and made it an anime? Would you be okay with that? I'd be like,
Fuck yeah, I want to hear Mamoru
yeah,
Miyano as
that
Shrek.
Absolutely.
that'd be cool.
They
And
could
it's like,
probably do it better. Let's be very real.
and like I
I don't
think that's
know.
the thing.
Tanoda, you're asking people to improve on perfection. The first Shrek movie is literal cinematic perfection.
But you just said it yourself. Mamoru Miyano as Shrek.
That would be cool, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Donkey. I'm like, man, like if I could see Eddie Murphy one more time, yo, I'm all for it. It's just certain things I just like any modern movie that we've probably seen, right, in an anime format.
Hmm.
Like I think would absolutely work, right? Like an anime version of Toy Story or Shrek, or fuck, I would love to see Zootopia because I just love that. I just love that film so much.
Because you're a furry. I mean, what?
Huh? What? Who said that? I just remember
Another one of those many projects that have been coming out recently that just make you go, I'm not a furry, but I like this.
Zootopia. I just remember going there like with like because I had a group of kids, right? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna sit there. I ain't know nothing about
I'm
it.
sorry, the story is getting worse.
And I was just like, yo, this is a movie for adults. Like what? Like, oh, this shit slap.
They're talking about like racism and complex societal issues. Children don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on. They're like,
Yo,
haha, Fox funny.
But like, I see. What was that? What's it called? Alita. Alita.
Alita Battle Angel, yes.
Oh yeah.
I must be in the minority. I fucking love that movie.
No, I loved it as well. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
I didn't love it, but I did think it was. Oh, I thought it was good.
Mm.
There was some CGI choices that I was like, okay, weird.
There was some uncanny valley stuff with the faces, I will say.
Yeah, but things like, could I see like the Garden of Words being like in a Hollywood format? Yeah, because it's just the story of a teacher and a dude. Um, but how much of the actual message is going to be like brought over versus how much of like man, how much product placement can we get in this bitch? Like one of my favorite series of all times is Steingate.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hollywood why that would be a format that would be super simple because it's such a drama and it's such a thriller where you don't need all these like effects and you don't need anything like you don't need to do a lot of that stuff for this to work. But I feel like they would, and I feel like it would take away from like the actual story. Um, so I mean that's just me, you know. Like I really want to see this Mario movie do well because I want it to open the doors to like, man, would it be cool if we got a Luigi's Mansion movie or like I would love to by the time I'm like 45 or 50, 52, you know, and it's like wow, all these games I played when I was a kid, like man, we're getting a fantasy star like film That's nice. I remember when I played that on the Super Nintendo. Like, and they're doing well, and it brings more respect to the genre. Uh, but it's so hard to do that when they bring these shows over and they flop. You know, like I'm over here telling people that Cowboy Bebop is one of the greatest animes of all time, and then they see this Netflix shit and they're like, "Man, I knew you was full of shit." And I'm like, "No, no, that doesn't. That's not
That
fair.
ain't it, Chief.
That's not the right one."
Man, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but we did a actual review / spoiler cast on the live action Cowboy Bebop. John and I have a very different opinion than everybody else.
John likes it.
We actually, I enjoyed it for what it was. So did John. We recognize that there are massive flaws with it, but we agreed that if they had kept going with it, it actually probably could have become really good.
Man, look.
I know.
Different
I
opinions.
know. I am in a very small minority that actually enjoyed it, and I'm not someone who came at it knowing nothing about Cowboy Bebop. I love the original anime. I have a lot of like good nostalgia about it, and I still enjoyed it.
I just didn't like how Faye was such. I just didn't like Faye. Like, I
get it. Like the actress that was playing her, I won't say phoning it in because I don't think she was. Didn't seem like she cared about like the legacy of the character that much.
And I think that's a problem, right? If every character,
John Cho obviously did. Like
he really did. He was reading, he was checking it out. He was reading like the comic series and all that. Like,
I think he played Spike really well in the show. Honestly, I really do.
I think the best is Jet.
Oh
Jet.
yeah, 100%. He killed it.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, that's every father trying to make it. That's trying to make ends meet, right?
Pretty much,
man.
yeah.
Like, that is every dad trying to make ends meet. So I really respected that. We gotta wait. I mean, hell, man, we're getting a Sonic 3 movie that's gonna have Shadow in it, which I didn't think we would ever get to that point.
We're getting a Fallout series.
I'm excited.
We're getting a Fallout series.
I actually want to talk about that a little bit. I'm really excited. I've been keeping up with it.
Some production stills from that show as well.
They did, and it actually looks really good. I'm very excited and a little bit nervous because it's like the universe is there. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows what it is. So like, it'd be difficult to mess it up, but at the same time, this is Hollywood we're talking about, so...
And also, we don't know yet, are they adapting Bethesda's version of Fallout? Are they adapting Interplay's version of Fallout?
As a fan, what do you think it should be? Because I think the worst thing...
I think they should adapt New Vegas.
Oh, Orc said they confirm it's not connected to the games.
Oh, it's not? Okay, then you know what? If they're just using it as a vessel to tell a story in the universe, I'm fine with that.
Completely fine with that. That sounds great, honestly. Honestly, that's even easier because you really only need the universe. You can tell a lot of stories because there's plenty of stories about it. So you don't even let the games have their stories, have the show do its own story.
We did an episode of the podcast recently where we talked about some ideas that we had for anime adaptations of Western properties. One of the things I did bring up was Fallout, and I thought like a great idea would be like a post Fallout New Vegas thing, like set in and around New Vegas, where you actually get to see the results of the decisions that you make in the game. So
I agree.
Maybe we'll see something like that, which I'm super excited for if that's the case.
I think that works. I think the biggest thing when you bring these shows over and people have like this genuine like connection towards a certain stuff is the one reason why I fucking think the Paramore, like the Halo shit sucks. It's like what? Stop taking off your damn...
hurt my soul.
Stop taking off your helmet, damn it!
which is an example. I like how they kept calling him Master Cheeks too, because you kept seeing his ass all the time.
You kept seeing this, man.
That was a great ass, though.
It was a fantastic ass. It's an ass I'd love to have, but that's a good example of taking the idea of adapting a story within a universe, but not actually directly adapting something can go wrong. Because they weren't directly adapting any of the games. They were adapting...
Or books.
They were essentially adapting what was a prequel to the a prequel to Reach.
I think when you do something like so anytime you use like an iconic character,
Mm.
like it's why I think Cyberpunk was so successful other than like that amazing budget and that like their art style and everything around it is that it took place in the cyberpunk world,
Mm.
but you have all these different characters that you can attach yourself to. And now going back to the actual game, you see like remnants of them there, and that makes it even all the more special. Um, for me, when I see like watching Halo, 'cause I fucking love Halo, man, and I'm like, why does this man keep crying? Like, why is he so emotional? Like, what this? Like, they're ruining like what this character's legacy, what
The
his
one
legacy
and only
should be.
time you see Master Chief get emotional is at the end of Halo 4.
It's like, yo, I personally for me, you can take any. I think taking any world and just building upon the world,
Mm.
you know, is the route to go because then you can have. Then it's not a direct comparison of, all right, so I guess this is what really happens.
Especially if it's a large, expansive, well-established world like Fallout or like the Elder Scrolls or Star Wars, Star Trek, something like that.
Yeah, like they're talking about making a Gears of War movie.
Mm.
As much as people would love to see Batista play Marcus Phoenix, I think he should just be another character altogether that's in that world. Like it doesn't just have to be centered around what they were doing. Other stuff happened. There's
Yeah.
other stories that can be told, and I think that's how you build upon the lore. That's how you get like. Why do you think like mangas and like light novels do so well?
Heck,
Because they surround the characters.
I
What they
don't.
should have done with the Halo stuff is it should have been about a different Spartan altogether, like some a Spartan we've never heard of, and maybe have the Master Chief have a cameo at some point.
Yeah,
That's what it
unlike
should have been.
unlike
It
Halo
should have
4.
been. I
Yeah.
don't. Burger. Going back to Gears, I don't know if you played it, but Gears Tactics is actually like what you're talking about. It's actually different people, different story, and it works so great. It's still the world, it's still all the lore, but just different people, different story, and like I loved it. I didn't finish it, but like what I did play, it was actually really cool.
I like. I don't know if you ever played the aliens, the aliens games.
The Colonial Marines.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever played those, but those have like tie-ins to the movie. But what they do is like, hey, while this character was asleep, this is what was going on. So it doesn't like conflict exactly what's going on in the story. It doesn't take away from anything.
Mm.
And I feel like that works because then when you go back and you play these games, you have this whole like appreciation for like, man, I wonder like these characters that I just saw, I wonder where they are in this world. Like they've already done the groundwork versus I wonder if my favorite character is going to show up now and I hope they don't like ruin them. Because let's be real, anytime you play a game with a character in it, like when we watched this Mortal Kombat movie, we all had a certain interpretation of like, all right, this is how I think Scorpion should be. And you're either going to hit that or you're going to ruin it. And that's it. There's not going to be an even middle ground. Like you're either gonna, it's either all right. Are they doing the character I like justice or are they ruining it? It's either one or the other. But when you have a new character, a new person, you have a new person all together. I think that would be like I think for me, if I was to make a like, let's say if I was to make a Legend of Zelda like film, right? And like the story of Legend of Zelda is that it's not just Link. There's different generations where this character is being called like Link and like it's a different world each time. They're connected, but they're not like it's not the same person.
It's not
If
linearly connected.
Yeah, unless you're talking like Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time or whatever. But for me, like I would change the story up where like maybe Ganondorf ain't evil, right? Maybe him and Link are friends in the very beginning, but because of that damn curse with demise or whatever, like they end up on opposite ends. Like I don't know if you ever played Suikoden 2, but pretty much like the concept where it's like they're two friends and they just end up on like enemy territories. Like right, like he finds out like Ganondorf finds out that he's a prince oh, he got to go to the desert. He see how his people is treated, and that's what's really drives the riffs. Versus like, I wonder if I can tell the story of Ocarina of Time better. Cause like, you can't. Like, you're really not.
Yeah,
and a lot of people
you can try and copy the story, in which case you have to ask yourself, well, why not just play the game and get the story that way?
Yeah, and like a lot of people who's making these movies aren't in the position. No, not that they're not in the position, but they're not necessarily being like, man, I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna have the whole team learn. We're gonna watch all these YouTube. We're gonna watch Zelda Link and Nintendo Black Crisis. We're gonna get all the Zelda lore, and then we're gonna go into it. It's gonna just be like, all right, this is our adaptation on it. And hey, do you know everything that happens? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know the gist of it. That's good enough. Slap a title on there, you're good to go.
Isn't Zelda the dude? Isn't Zelda the dude? No, no. Like, it's not. Then why is the game called The Legend of Zelda? And already you have a losing formula.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I really don't know. I hope, like I said, I hope these movies do well, because I hate to see a movie flop. Right? If this movie do well, then maybe we'll get more things. Like, hell, we got an actual Super Mario World. Like the Super Mario World, it's like I think it's in LA. It's in LA now.
I think so, yeah.
Like the theme park and things like that. Like, that stuff is only happening because it's so big now, and like Hollywood's seen it. If like we can profit off of this, let's make it happen. So I hope it does well. I really do.
You brought it up earlier. You mentioned Cyberpunk Edgerunners. That anime is fantastic. It is almost certainly going to be nominated for our anime of the year this year. It may not win, who knows? But it's definitely going to get the nomination. But I want to talk about the actual game that it's based off of, because I finally played it. And
finally, really?
You played Pokemon 2077? No.
No, I finally played Cyberpunk 2077. I bought it it was on sale in October. I think it was part of some kind of Halloween sale or something. It was like half off, so I ended up spending like $30 on it. And I held off for a long time. Number one, I was excited for the game when it was first announced, and the hype leading up to its release. You know, I got caught up in it, but I told myself, I'm going to wait, because number one, I don't know if the computer I have can even play the game in the settings you're supposed to play it on anyway. And number two, I just want to see what the reviews are like when the game comes out. So,
thank God you waited.
Well, the game comes out. It's a fucking shit show, a legendary shit show, as we know at this point. And I was like, okay, good. I had a feeling. I'm glad I waited. And then now, after 2 years, basically, people are starting to say, oh, well, they've kind of patched a lot, and it's actually a pretty decent game now. It's really
good
fun.
now. It's fixed.
Yeah. And of course, they're adding stuff, a DLC, like, what is it, like every month, every other month, they're adding new stuff to the game. And I thought, okay, great. Now that it's on sale, it's $30. It's half off. Now might be a time to jump on it. And then I bought it. I ran it. My computer seems to run it pretty good at 60 frames per second constantly. So it's like, all right, sweet. Let's do this. So I finally played it. And this game sucks. It is one of the worst games I think I've ever played in my life.
Okay, what do you not like about it? What's your hot take?
It's so boring. There's nothing to do in this game, and this main story sucks.
You don't like the fact that your choices matter, but really don't? Like, what are you talking about?
I'll give you a great example of this. So we're told our choices matter, and they affect the world. Very early on in the game, I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything, and I don't even give a shit about these characters' names because they're so poorly written, I couldn't give a shit about what their names are. You're in a car with the what's the first fixer's name that you come across?
Oh, fuck. What's
the big
his name?
dude.
So long ago.
Anyway, you know who I'm talking
black
about.
One, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. You're riding along in the car, and he asks you a question.
Deshaun.
That's it, Dexter Deshaun. Thank you. he's asking you a question like, do you want to be remembered for, you know, going out in a blaze of glory and living a short life, or do you want to play it safe and live a long, comfortable life? And then, of course, this is a conversation, so it turns to you as the player, and you have to answer the question. The answers that you're able to give are, I'm not answering that shit, or I want to go out in a blaze of glory. What if I want to answer if, like, I want to live a comfortable life? God damn it, why even give me the goddamn choice if you're not going to give me the choice? That's the kind of shit I mean of how badly written this game is. You have no choices in this game. You are railroaded into playing the character a very specific way. And of course, your character's name is V no matter who you play as, whether you're a dude or a chick. Why couldn't they have just gone the Mass Effect route with this? Like, Mass Effect, you always play as Shepard, and Shepard is always going to be the hero. So why don't they just do that? If they're going to railroad you anyway, railroad you well.
It's because there are very simple stuff like that don't really matter. There are a couple choices here and there that do lead to different endings and different outcomes for some storylines.
My question then becomes, who cares if you don't give a shit about any of the characters because they're so poorly written?
You don't like Dex? Like,
I don't. You know, there's
you
only...
don't like T-Pain?
I know. Discount T-Pain?
Discount T-Pain, let's go.
Oh, yeah. You remember when they were telling us how the clothing you wear matters? They even still say it in the fucking game, and it doesn't fucking matter. You can walk outside naked. No one says anything.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
But I don't know. I've played through the entire first act of this game. I think I got like 13 or 14 hours worth of playtime. So I've also done a couple of side quests and stuff. The side quests are by far more entertaining than the actual story. But that's a problem in an RPG. When your side quests are the only thing engaging about your world, that's a problem in an RPG.
But at the same time, doesn't that mean your side quests actually explore the world and like show off what
but that's another thing
is good about it?
That's another thing. That would be great if the world were interesting. They build up Night City as if it's some kind of bustling fucking...
That's subjective, though.
No, it's not. They build it up as if it's some kind of bustling metropolis full of hundreds of thousands of people. It literally feels like a small town with skyscrapers. That's what it feels like.
If you feel that way now, you should have saw how we felt the day of release.
Oh yeah,
I'm not saying
was great.
No, I'm not saying there haven't been improvements. And Silly Frog says, yeah, cars run better now. I'm sure they do, but there shouldn't even be driving in this game with how bad the driving mechanics are.
Well, I would say the driving is one of the. I like the driving. I like the driving a lot more better than I like the shooting.
We got redeems of hydrate, posture check,
yeah,
and stretch.
Yep. So I was talking with Soon, who's the DM of our D&D campaign that we're doing, and we were talking about one of the because he actually enjoys the game, but he's just kind of enjoying it for like the side quest stuff, which is fine. Like if you like the mechanics of it, fine. But he and I are definitely in agreement that one of the problems with this game is that they lean way too hard into its source material. The source material for Cyberpunk 2077 is a tabletop RPG game. And it feels like a direct adaptation of that instead of being a computerized version of that. And I think that definitely is not a good thing.
It's definitely part of the problem, yeah. How can a car be more expensive than military grade tech? I mean, that's kind of an IRL thing already. There's definitely cars that are more expensive than
if you're buying a fucking Beamer or something. Or a Benz.
Still, it's real.
I expected way more from this game. I'm going to say it, like, as long as the development time for this game it needed at least 5 more years of development.
Yeah, I can unfortunately agree with that.
At the state the game is currently in, even after all of the updates and DLC and like homages even to the anime series now that there are in it, which, you know, were nice little touches that I liked, I'll be honest. But this game isn't worth $5. It really isn't.
It's worth $5. Come on,
I'm sorry, it's not. And if I were,
It's worth
and
it.
this
Jesus
also
Christ.
might be super controversial for me to say, but if I were a developer on this game, I'd leave it off my portfolio.
Wow.
That's how embarrassed I would be to have worked on this game.
All right, Alex is critiquing a little bit too harsh today on this. We're gonna ignore his opinion.
I just,
not worth $5. You know the Burger King sneak game is around that price. You're telling me it's on the quality of that?
Yeah, I do.
Sheesh, Louise. Damn.
I do. There are some decent aspects to the game, but there's just so much that's so bad and unpolished still after 2 years.
Not worth $5 though?
Nah, I feel like $30, which is what I spent on it, was like 10 times too much.
Ooh. Damn.
Wow.
I mean, I could go on and on. Like, the reason that I feel so strongly about this is because I like RPG games. Like, I love Elder Scrolls. I love Fallout.
You're a Skyrim slut.
I do. I love Skyrim. If anyone who's been watching my playthrough currently of Skyrim with your mom, the Khajiit, and knows I love Skyrim and I just love fucking around with it. But one of the things I was looking forward to with this game is its setting. As much as I like things like the Elder Scrolls, I'm tired of RPGs that take place in medieval or magical settings. I want stuff that takes place in the future. I want stuff that's more about technology than magic, and learning skills that way instead of, arcane shit like go read this spell book and learn this spell, cast fireball, blah, blah, blah. So that's one of the reasons I was really excited for it, and I thought that if this does good, and it actually is good, maybe it'll make more RPG developers want to do this. It's why I'm now cautiously optimistic for, was it what's the thing that Bethesda's making? Starfield. Starfield. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like, for somebody I think Skyfall, but that's a fucking James Bond movie. Starfield, which I'm cautiously optimistic for at this point, knowing that it runs on the Creation Engine has me a little worried, but I want more RPGs like that. I want more RPGs that are more futuristic or even modern day settings than as opposed to like medieval or magical settings. And it's so disappointing that Cyberpunk isn't anything like what they promised. It's barely an RPG.
It's RPG light, let's be real.
Yeah, it very light. I really wish they had,
except in gameplay aspect.
Maybe
gameplay aspect, you actually can do multiple different styles of gameplay, and all of them are actually valid.
Let's be real. What you're saying is because you're saying it's not worth $5. What other games are you putting in this category? Because this sounds like this is on your worst game of all time.
Oh, it is. In my opinion, it's one of the worst games ever made.
So what other games are on this list? What are your 6 worst of all time?
Oh, 6 worst? Oh, I have to think about that. Fallout 76 would be on that list, sadly.
76 was whack.
Was being keyword.
Pretty much any Bethesda game on launch day. I don't know. I'd have to think about like what my actual like worst games like that I've ever played are.
Saying if you're like, man, this is not where like what is the power we're putting this in with?
Fallout 76 probably would be like its brethren for sure. I mean, I've watched people play it today, and like, yeah, it's certainly better than the day it launched, but it's still not a good game.
Don't get me wrong, I don't like the new Saints Row at all.
Oh, Saints Row would be on that list.
I can't stand the new Saints Row, but like, I would put Cyberpunk above Saints Row.
Oh, Captain Silly Frog brought up another one. Spore. Spore is absolutely awful.
The hell is Spore?
It's that thing that well, I don't think it was Maxis, it was EA, but it was like that team at Maxis that did, it's like The Sims, but Evolution.
What?
It's a really weird game. It's an awful game.
Look, Spore.
Ew.
Wait, what the fuck?
EA. Speaking of something that was done by the team at Maxis, the remake of SimCity that was always online for some reason. A single player game that's always online.
Oh yeah, that ridiculous shit.
We're 2 away. All right, we're almost there. I just need to really get a feel of like what is the worst of the worst for you.
EA's remake of Star Wars Battlefront was god awful.
Whoa, hold on. That game was fun as hell. What are you talking about?
Are you kidding me with all the fucking DLC and everything locked behind a paywall?
I'm not talking about the DLC. I'm talking about the actual gameplay itself. That was fun.
The microtransactions did kill it.
The microtransactions made it a terrible game. Like, mechanically, yeah, the game is fine. But, like, how you have to play the game with the microtransactions makes it awful.
I will say, once they backtracked on that and like completely turned that off, if you go back and actually play the game, like even now it's actually even better. Like, it's so much fun. It is insane levels of fun. Like, I can pop up whenever and just have a good time. It's great now. How it launched was despicable and never should have been, but they did backtrack and fix it, so I'm really appreciative of that.
It's just, I feel like Cyberpunk, the game, needed at least 5 more years of development to make it a good game. I think it still can be a good game, but it's gonna be a long road before it's a good game.
Luckily, they're still working on it.
Thankfully, we have Edge Runners, which was fan-fucking-tastic, one of the best anime of the year. And it's sad that a linear anime made me feel more engaged and enthralled by Night City than the game where I actually get to play inside of Night City.
My girl Emmy Lowe is in that, yo.
Oh yeah, AC Unity.
Assassin's Creed Unity was awful too.
God, it was the buggiest Assassin's Creed.
Actually, I would say every Assassin's Creed after Black Flag has been markedly terrible.
Nah. Not every
Valhalla was okay, but the story has gone so far off the rails.
Story is wild now, yeah.
The first 2 Assassin's Creed games and the 2 spin-off, Brotherhood and Revelations, were fucking fantastic. The Ezio trilogy is great. Yeah, the AC franchise is really kind of dead, sadly. I don't know. Like, the one thing I will say is people are bitching at Rockstar and Bethesda for taking so long to develop their new games. I'm glad that they're taking as long as they are. I hope GTA 6 doesn't come out for another 5 years. I really do. I hope it doesn't come out for another 10 years, because I think that something that we as consumers and developers need to learn is this word called patience. Like, good work, good art takes fucking time.
I mean,
unfortunately, capitalism doesn't work with that.
I would like to play it in my lifetime, you know. I would hate
as would I, but I would like to play a good game in my lifetime, not a bad game.
Be a damn shame if a game come out and it's so damn fantastic, but, you know, due to the lack of I would never be able to enjoy it. I mean, I think what was the old quote that Miyamoto made?
Delayed game is
a delayed game is bad. A rush game is bad forever. A delayed game is good, or something like that.
Something like that. A rushed game is bad forever. A delayed game is bad for a minute, or something like that.
A delayed game is eventually good, or something like that.
Yeah, I forget the exact quote, but yeah. Dragon Age 4 better be good? Yeah, after Inquisition, it better be good, or I'm done with that franchise.
Mass Effect
Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, can we not?
Anthem.
But Mass Effect Andromeda was absolutely, and it still is not a good game. The story for that sucks balls.
Oh man, that's what you put in Cyberpunk with like Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, currently, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's still in development. They have multiple DLCs planned to come out over the next several months or years, so...
Man, you throwing it over there with Sonic Boom and the Rise of the Lyrics titles? Sheesh. All right.
That's how little I enjoyed this game. And it's sad because I wanted to enjoy it. I really did.
I'm sorry it hurt you so much, man.
I will say, as much as I have shit on the characters and how they're written, there is one character, at least in the first act, that I really, really liked, and that's Victor. I think Victor is pretty fucking awesome.
What about my man T-Pain, yo? Like, how you gonna do my man Dex like that? Like,
He was in there for 5 minutes. He's fine.
how you gonna do my man Dex like that, yo? Like, I'm gonna buy you a drink. Like, what's the problem with y'all?
I felt like I needed a drink to make it a halfway decent game.
Yeesh. That's
All right, shall we move on to the
Yes,
next topic
please.
because we've been on this for like ever.
I want to talk about the public domain, because the public domain is a wonderful thing. It means that anyone has the ability to use anything in it to their own purposes, and no one can say shit. Recently, Winnie the Pooh entered the public domain, and we're getting a fucking horror movie based off of it, and it looks like the schlockiest shit ever, and I'm so here for it. Now, Bambi has entered the public domain, and there's going to be a horror movie based on Bambi now. I'm here for
These creators are ready.
I don't know why the first instinct that so many creators have when these things enter the public domain is to create a horror movie based on it, but I'm so here for it. And I love the tagline for the movie, or like the through line is Bambi's gonna get revenge for his mother and become a killing machine.
I'm here for it.
The only thing I think of is, are they just gonna strap lasers to Bambi and him going through the forest murdering everyone? Because that would be awesome!
Nah, I want Bambi to be a savage. Straight hoofs, boxing them hunters, 1-2 punch. I want it. I want to see what happens.
Also, the thing on Twitter that I saw when this was first announced was everyone being shocked that Bambi is a dude.
Was that not common knowledge?
I
No,
thought
it's
it
not.
was, but apparently everyone thought that Bambi was a chick.
Word?
I mean, Bambi's voice was extremely feminine.
It sounded like a little boy.
In
little boys, little boys,
in
little
the
girls.
Disney Disney movie, it's sort of ambiguous.
It never crossed my mind that Bambi was a girl. Like,
I think the name is actually, isn't it Italian for little boy? Bambi?
Is it?
Like, it like never. When did Bambi come out? How old?
Long ass time
That's
ago.
true. That's true. Or points out like female deer don't have antlers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I wasn't looking at it from that point of view. Like,
Why you gotta say it like it's something gross?
I was just.
It's like, I was staring at Bambi's penis.
I wasn't looking at it from that point of view. I was just like, I remember watching it, and like never in my head I was like, man, why they kill this girl's mom like that?
I do remember when I was a kid and I watched Bambi. It was very traumatic.
Yeah, that man, mom got blammed. I was like, damn, like. Y'all wasn't playing when y'all said first grade is different from kindergarten. Like, oh, this shit is real here.
As much as I want to see because I've seen the trailer for it, like the Winnie the Pooh horror movie looks like it's just amazingly B movie like horror schlock, and like I said, I'm here for it. I want to see it now. When I gotta see what this is like when the trailers come out for it, but. If it's anything as schlocky as what I've seen so far for the Winnie the Pooh, I'm fucking here for it. And the next thing I cannot wait for to enter the public domain is Sherlock Holmes. I want to see a Sherlock Holmes horror story.
Wait, how long away is that?
I don't know exactly when Sherlock Holmes enters the public domain. I do know that Doyle's family is really protective of the copyright today, so
they're really anal.
You have to. A great example of that is back in late 80s, I think 88 or 89, there was an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation that utilized Moriarty. And Data was playing Sherlock Holmes in like a holodeck fantasy thing, and everyone that wrote the story thought that it was already in the public domain so they could use it, and they aired this episode without ever consulting anybody, and the family was like, excuse me.
They must have gotten some bad doo-doo.
They
oh shit.
I mean,
look at what happened with the Great Ace Attorney, right?
mm,
Like they really changed his name to Herlock.
Herlock Shlomes.
Like they literally to just so the game could come out.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, the BBC show Sherlock, like the Doyle's family still gets royalties for that show.
yeah, yeah.
They're super protective of that copyright. I know that. I want to say sometime in the 2040s or so is when the copyright finally expires for Sherlock Holmes. So that'll be fun. A Sherlock Holmes horror story. One thing I love about it, just when stuff goes in the public domain, you get some really creative shit done with stuff.
Well, I'm gonna look it up. When will?
Oh, I think there's actually a website that like tracks when certain things enter the public domain.
There is actually. I've been on there. Very informative.
All right. Well, what do you? I'm kind of done with this. Tell me what you find out if you do find out when Sherlock Holmes enters the public domain.
Sure, I got you.
But what do you want to talk about, Shinoda? I know we talked about Turkey Day earlier, but
yeah. I've been catching up on my Mal list.
Oh, how's that been?
It's been great. So, it was between this season and last season where it was dead, no new episodes were coming out. So I was just waiting for something, right? Because I had nothing. Let's see, hold on. I had nothing, and I was like, let me look at my list, see what I have to, what I've been watching, but I just dropped off on, and like didn't even bother dropping. I just thought I'd get back to it later. It was a whole bunch of stuff, like a bunch of stuff. So I was like, okay, let me sit down, start watching these animes, and like start playing these games that I've been holding back on, and like finally finish them out. Been playing through for games. I'm still on it. Fallout 3. I've actually made progress. I got to the right before the final mission. Now I'm playing through all the DLCs. I finished Operation Anchorage a couple days ago. I'm about to do the Pit next. It's really fun.
I love
Huh?
Fallout 3. I love Fallout 3, man.
Yeah, no. It's such a great game. I forgot it was so good, and it had so many cool mechanics.
I love it so much.
Hello.
Snakes rule. I'm like, oh shit.
I'm a little bit
Hello,
annoyed
America.
because
this is your president, John Henry Eden.
I'm playing the console version, so I can't, like, any bugs or glitches that happen. I have to either reload a save or like go way back. Or there's even one quest that I straight up can't finish. That's to do with the guy in the tree. That's
Harold.
Yeah, Harold. Yeah.
Just set him on fire like I always do.
No, I can't. So I try to. I'm towards the end of that quest. I try to go up to him. The game freezes. Like I cannot move.
Oh, Harold
can't
is taking control of your game.
It just breaks the game. I had to reload a save and like just completely skip it because I can't do it. And I'm like, whatever. I wish I could get the sap for the effect that it does, but like I'm just not gonna be able to. It sucks, but it's whatever. Anyways, that's games. So,
you're talking about those bugs and stuff. Welcome to the New Vegas experience.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, because I want to go through the games that I haven't finished yet, and that's a whole bunch of them. So it could be literal years before I even get to New Vegas. I don't know.
By the time you get there, Sherlock Holmes will be in the public domain.
Oh, what did you find
You
out?
might
what
be
year?
right.
No, I don't.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just assuming, like, with all that backlog, it says according to lawsuits, Sherlock Holmes entered the public domain for Canada and the United Kingdom in 1980, and that's it.
Okay.
It keeps when it comes to America, we keep getting we keep getting hit with shit. So,
well, yeah, copyright law in America is fucked.
Yeah, so
I love
All
New
right,
Vegas to death, but I gave up after my millionth load freeze. I don't blame you. It's very
now as for anime, I'm just gonna run through this list
Oh,
real
he's
quick.
got a list.
GB, yeah, it's an actual list of anime that I've finished. I'm proud of myself for that.
Go
Actually,
ahead. I'm proud of you too.
one of the worst animes I've ever watched and had the privilege of watching because it was so goddamn bad.
Attack on Titan.
Gibiate, or however you pronounced it. Gibiate. It. Oh my god.
Wait, how do you spell it again? Gibiate.
Gibiate.
Gigabyte? What?
No, Gibiate. It is one of the worst animes I've ever watched in my life. It had potential. Story was somewhat
I've
decent.
never heard of this.
Somewhat of a good cast, but like, God.
But this artwork looks so cool though. Like,
You would think so, but then you actually watch it. It looks like garbage. I would rather watch garbage than watch this again. It was so bad.
Pile of shit.
just watch trash just get delivered and taken out. That's crazy.
It would be a better time.
I have become
I'm so
garbage
serious.
man.
Is there no redeeming quality? No, like the soundtrack is trash.
There isn't. Nothing. Not a single thing. I hated everything about it. I hated the characters. I hated the soundtrack. I hated the animation. Everything. It was just bad.
Yeah.
Like, I wish if I could, I would purge this out of my memory and leave a note to myself never to watch it.
Damn,
it's that bad.
You would Mr. Krabs it when Mr. Krabs realized that people couldn't pay. He was like taking the TV experience from people.
Oh yeah, I would do that. I would do that to myself. It's that bad. All right. My next life as a villainess, season 2. Finished that. Jingai-san no Yome. Basically, a college boy marries an eldritch being. Very weird slice of life. Don't mess with
Sorry.
No, keep your hands off of Aizoken.
Isaacin, yeah.
Aizoken, yeah.
Aizoken, however the fuck
an anime that's literally a love letter to animation. Actually fantastic, really well done. I'm so happy I finally got around to finishing it. Such a great time. Railgun Season 3, finally finished that off. Endro.
At least it's not Index Season 3.
They
really dropped the ball on that shit.
Let's not talk about that. Railgun is a better series for a reason.
Yeah, because of Bitty Bitty.
Endro, it's an anime about this girl who got transported back in time. She was the demon lord. She got defeated, cast a spell, went back in time, and ends up teaching the hero. Very funny story, very cute. Working Season 3 and the movie special.
I love Working.
Fantastic time. And I watched the series that was after the that was based on a different staff. That was great, really well done. 18F, really fucking weird anime. Like it was
Man, you really
pretty
digging back
episodic.
in time.
Huh?
You really digging back in time for some of these.
Dude, I went back through and finished a bunch of them. Dropped Sarazami. It's about Kappa that. Yeah, you're right. Sarazami. I didn't really enjoy that series. I tried to watch it again. And I was like, wait, I don't like this.
Fucking love Sarah Zenmai.
It was just too weird for me. Cells at Work Season 2, finished that. Watch Cells at Work Black 2. That was actually really fucking cool. And
it's like, you know what would make Cells at Work better? What if it took place inside of a person whose body they didn't give a shit about it?
There's someone that's dying.
Yeah. like all the cells are like, we're action heroes now.
And I am now watching Hitarabochi.
Okay.
Which one?
Yeah. Hitarabochi.
Thorobochi.
Hold on here. I'll just link it on the chat.
Oh yeah,
Make it easier.
that'd be great.
I may have accidentally closed the chat, and I don't know how to open it without fucking up what's being shown on screen.
But yeah, that's it for me. That's my long list of stuff I've actually been watching.
You've been killing it lately, then.
Yeah,
I got like 5 things that I need to watch by the end of the year, and I haven't started a single one.
So after I finish Hitarabochi, I'm gonna watch the stuff from this year, and I'm just gonna blitz through it the best I can because I know I need to watch some stuff for our list to give it fair consideration.
Oh yeah, like this is so for what we do on the podcast. Like we do our end of the year award stuff. We typically have our award show go out in February. We record it at the end of January. But like this time, like December to like mid-January, myself, Natai, John, and Chinoda are always like scrambling to watch some of the stuff that we missed during the rest of the year. It's like, oh shit, like this turned out to be really good and we didn't watch it while it was airing. Fuck.
One of those ones that I still need to watch, I think aired this year, was Horimiya.
Did it air this year?
Didn't it?
If it did, it must have been back in the wintertime.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me look this up real quick. Now I need to check. Could have sworn it was this year.
It may have been. I don't remember. If it, like I said, if it did, it was early this year. But yeah, that's something that happens every year when we do this podcast. It's like, shit, there was like 4 or 5 things that became really popular during the airtime that they were on, whether it was like winter, spring, summer, fall, and we didn't get around to it. Fuck, I gotta watch them all in a week.
Oh no, that was 21. What the fuck?
Oh well, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, Horimiya is old. I'm like, what? My girl Marissa plays Horimiya in that.
Oh
nice. Shit, that's cool.
This guy's got connections, man.
Oh yeah, like I said, when I'm telling you, man, when I watch a lot of stuff I watch is because English because I like supporting like my friends, but like Marissa Duran, it's my homegirl, Hori, main girl Hori.
I know one anime that I still have yet to watch this year that I've been wanting to watch it for months now is Call of the Night.
Alex,
I know,
killing me small.
I know. I should have watched this while it was airing, and I did not.
I'm trying to think who's in something. Natalie Van Sistine. She's in Spy Family. She plays Yuri.
Oh shit,
Yuri.
Yeah, I love that shit.
I was actually talking to some of my friends yesterday or day before. They hate Yuri so much. They hate his character with a passion. They think he's creepy for being such a siscon.
He a little pervy on his sister. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they hate him for that.
A man after my own heart.
Yeah, look, man. Like, let him leave that interrogator alone.
Has the dub for the second part come out yet?
I haven't watched it yet, so I don't think so.
I want so bad for that damn dog to be voiced by Markiplier.
Wolf.
I just want. Why would I hear Markiplier just go, Borf? Borf?
Borf.
Borf? Borf.
Hello, I am dog. Like,
God, Markiplier should really Markiplier should really do like more acting and voice acting. He really should.
Man, I remember, like, I saw an interview with him not too long ago where he was just like, man, like, the stuff that he's doing now, he's like so like happy with it. Like because he was talking about money, right? He was like, I make an ungodly amount of money, like very honest about it, like very like yeah. And he's like, I don't know what to do with it, so I give it to charity.
Which is good.
I think he's in Villainous, the new one. That
My Life is a Villainess or whatever.
Yeah, it just came. It's on HBO, I think, right now. He plays some beer thing and that. So I know he's on that right now. My girl Yini Ann, she plays Gilo on that show. Um, yeah, man, if Markiplier wanted to, if Mr. Fishbotch wanted to live the life of a voice actor, he would be such a rare commodity. Just please be in my show, please, like, please.
I just feel like Mark, like the way his voice is, he'd really just play a bunch of incidental characters like Bond and Spy Family. Just you get him on there and he just comes on for Borf. Because he's got the way he delivers lines sometimes. It's just like, it's not what he's saying that's funny, it's how he's saying it.
Oh damn.
I think, and if you got a delivery like that, it's a gift. It really is. When you can make stuff sound funny just by how you say it and not what you're saying, that is a gift.
100% agreed.
Mark should play live action Hughes. 100%. He looks exactly like Maze Hughes.
Have his hair slicked back.
Just get the hair slicked back a little bit. I don't think, what else does he need to do? That's it.
No, it works.
His hair is the exact same color. He's got the same
black.
build, the same look.
You're black. His hair. Like, it's crazy. It's not like his hair is purple.
Okay, well, he does have a history of dyeing his hair crazy colors, but naturally his hair is the same color as Hughes. All he would really have to do is slick it back.
I mean, I could say the same thing about your hair, sir. Or, like, it's just
my hair is brown.
Well, I'm colorblind, so I don't really know what color's what. Like, you could have told me your hair was purple, and I would have been like, for real? Like,
my hair is bright pink. You can't tell. I am Madoka.
Oh no, Alex, don't do that.
Being senpai is suffering.
Oh damn.
Anything else you've been watching in the vast list of things?
That's not talking about the currently airing shows.
How do you find time to do this? Because like me, you have a full-time job.
I have a full-time job as well as a social life. I
congratulate you, sure. You have figured out how to balance all these things.
I don't know how I'm doing this. I don't even know why I have a social life. I don't know how I have these friends. I just do.
I could be really mean and just say, I don't know either.
I'm saying it. I don't know. It just happened.
I won't do that to you, bro. This is our first time hanging out. Those guys are really lucky to hang out with you.
Yeah, but you get to like the 18th or 20th time, it's like, why are you fucking here? No, I'm just kidding.
Alex, you ass. Jesus.
I love you, Shinoda. I love you.
Oh boy.
No, I'm watching the seasonal shows as well, and I'm watching a bunch of them. I'm not gonna bother listing off every single one of them because that's a list as well.
I mean, I think it's safe to say all of us are probably watching Chainsaw Man.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in love. And I'm an anime only at the moment. After the anime ends, I'm gonna pick up the manga, but like right now, anime only. I'm having so much fun just theorizing and like wondering and just looking at everything with fresh perspective. It's great. I'm having such a fun time.
If you've watched the most recent episode, at least as of the time we're streaming this, the shit's about to start. Like, if you thought the show was good now, whoa, you're in for a treat.
I'm very excited. I'm so looking forward to seeing what happens tomorrow.
Also, like, I've peeped the Spanish dub for this. It's fucking wild.
Wait, what? Why?
So you know how Power has like these lines where she's like gas, like ooh, ah,
yeah.
The person in, I don't know who it is, but the person in the Spanish dub that is doing it is making the oohs and ahs sound so fucking sexual. It's like instead of going like ooh, she's like ah. It's so like the show has these sexual undertones anyway in it, but this just makes it so much worse.
That's great.
I don't know
Holy shit.
who the person in the Spanish dub doing Power's voice is, but she's fucking fantastic.
No, you want to know what's really fucking awesome and wild to me is the fact that so much of the Hispanic community has just taken off with Pochita. Like, I
Yeah,
love that.
El
I
Pochita.
love that. It's so cute.
I like that someone on YouTube did a salsa remix of Kickback the OP. It's great.
Oh, you're gonna have to link that to me later. I
I
want to
will.
check that out.
I've shared it in our Discord server before, but it's fucking
okay.
fantastic.
Shout out to my boy Ryan Colt Levy, man, who plays Dingy.
Really, in the English dub.
Oh shit, that's what's up. Hell yeah.
Shout out to my man.
He's gonna get to say boobs a lot.
He worked like as just like if you like an underdog story, like he is so like he deserved that and so much more. Like his career, just trying to figure out like, what am I supposed to do? I'm so happy for him that he's in that show.
I'm happy. So something that I've talked about on the podcast before is like, for a long time now, I've kind of shied away from English dubs, but I've slowly been going back to them because we've got a lot of new talent in English dubbing now, and some of it is really good. Like, it's genuinely people who are good voice actors. Which before, like, it would pluck just about anyone that came by in the auditions and put him in the booth. But nowadays, there's some really good talent in like dubbing, and it's good to see. It's really good to see.
Like I said, there's some solid people. My girl Yor, Dingy, and Emmy Lowe, and Cyberpunk. There's just there's a lot of amazing people out there. I'm happy I'm happy to see my people out there winning. So
now,
I'm so happy to have seen the industry grow like this. I really am. I don't watch dubs myself. It's just a preference of mine. I don't. I need to, I know, but like
I like how you're telling this to
don't.
a dub voice actor. It's like,
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
It's what it is. What can I say?
He's dying. You're literally killing him. Oh my God, he's
Ain't no disrespect. I appreciate it. I've seen some of them, and I've actually really liked it. But at the same time, it's just what I grew up on after so many years. Started out with dub, switched to sub, and now I'm like mostly sub. Sometimes, very rarely, dub. But
that's how it is with me. Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Oh, damn! Why'd you write my name in the
No hate though. Hey, I'm gonna say right now, no hate at all. Only appreciation.
One thing I will say is, and Burger, you might agree with this. Like, there's still some voice actors getting fucking shit over. Like what happened with the original dub cast for Evangelion when it came to Netflix. That was bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of people. Some stuff. I love the voiceover community so much, but there's some times where there's some toxic moments, man. Like the whole Bayonetta situation. That was
oh my God.
That was a story and a half right there. Holy shit.
That was so sad to see. Just people like who don't know. Just I have an opinion too, and you see why would you like? It was terrible to see every day, and then like 2 days later, it's like people are quick to voice their opinions, but like no one's quick to be like, all right, I'm sorry. My bad.
There's a lot of people out there who will just when a story breaks, they'll put their opinion out there, but when more information comes out and it's like, all the stuff that seemed like it was right at the beginning is now wrong, and you're like, okay, well, we're moving on now.
Yeah, there's no level of accountability. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's old news. I don't care.
Yeah.
So what if I said that yesterday and it hurt your feelings and you probably saw it and you was probably having a bad day, and that was the thing that pushed you over the edge and really made you think about if this was your career or not.
Now, one thing I will say is if her goal was really to implode her career, good job, because she did.
Yeah, and like, man, I hate to see, Helena Taylor's career be like that, but like, it's just to me, when you're like, I really like this is something that means a lot, and then like 2 hours later. All right, back to the theater world for me, and it's like, huh? Like, where
Yeah.
you?
Like,
What?
and that. I hate to be like an armchair theorist here, but that just seems like it was the goal the entire time, where she just didn't want to do this anymore, and it's like, well, I'm just going to take people out with me.
I don't know. I really don't know. I've spoken to I've spoken to Helena. I've never spoken to Jennifer Hale. I just know about all the. I think I did a class with her once. Um, but as a person, she's fantastic. Helena Taylor, as a person, from what I've experienced, it was like, oh, she's been a great person. And then like,
This happens.
yeah, and it's like, oh well, damn, maybe you're not so great. I don't know. Like, um,
I
but
mean,
as far as
congrats to Jennifer Hale, because she's now picked up a great role.
yeah, as far as being like, man, what are these things next to me? Are these bridges? I'm about to burn every single one of these motherfuckers. Like that that's how I felt. I'm like, damn, I've never seen someone with that level of quote unquote experience, because it's like, hey, I've been in the game for a while, and then like the question is, well, it's like, well, she's only really been Bayonetta,
Mm.
over the last decade or
Yeah,
so, right?
decade, 12 years, something like that.
Yeah, she has like a part in like Hellsing Ultimate or something like that, but like it just seemed like Bayonetta was just like the thing she was known for. She had the benefit of being the first Bayonetta, um, and I just didn't really feel like when you look at Jennifer Hale's career, it's like female shepherd, like she's fucking totally spies. Like it's my girl Sam. Um, she's so
She was
like
Bastila in Knights of the Old Republic.
yeah, like Jennifer Hale makes up a nice
She
part of.
was Bastila Sean. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
She makes up a nice bit of like my childhood things that I consider sacred. Right, I love Totally Spies as a show, as a series. Um, I love Mass Effect 3. Um,
That's a
so
bold take.
I do love Mass Effect 3, not the ending, um, but I think we all understand that we don't like the end of Mass Effect 3.
I like how even Jennifer Hale in an interview said, I don't understand this ending.
It's like I just think that in a situation like where it's like, hey, I want someone like as a voice actor, I'm always concerned about my legacy, right? Like
Mm.
I at the end of the day, all I really want to do is inspire someone the same way how I was inspired when I was a kid, right? Like just a kid, like, anime in a sense stopped me from hanging out on the streets because I would have a reason to go home, instead of like dealing with, and even, whatever, like gang stuff I did, like I was exposed to, you know, cartoons and stuff like that. It gave me my first like conversational pieces, right? Because I could sit at a table and be like, oh, I also watch Yu-Gi-Oh! I also have cards. Oh, I also watch like Batman the anime. I also know this. And man, I can't imagine where I would be without some of those like titles in my life. So, like, once again, my biggest thing is like I just want to leave a legacy where somebody can like look back and be like, man, this character made me want to do something, or this character made me feel better. And man, the person behind it wasn't a giant asshole. Like
Yeah.
they're not a giant racist who don't care about anything they've ever done.
Or narcissist, or
Yeah, I just hope to leave a good legacy with like my body of work. And like, Jennifer Hale has done that and more because she's been in so many like like man, I used to go to the arcade and play like in height and play like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and used to cheat. I got my job at GameStop off of that game.
Really?
Playing with Phoenix because the owner of the manager, not the owner. Gotta be careful how I say it. The owner of GameStop at the time, like I would always go in there for a job because I too, as a young lad, thought that GameStop was the future of like
Oh, ye of little faith.
as just like, yeah, this is my goal. And I remember he was like, all right, I'll give you an interview if you could beat me in Marvel vs. Capcom. And like I picked Jean Grey and I X Factored, and he was like, "Get your ass in the back so we can get this interview over with." And I got the job. And like I'll never forget that. Like, Jennifer Hale voiced it like Jean. She voiced it the Phoenix. She voiced it fucking Sheena from Tales of Symphonia. Like, I have so many memories of Tales of Symphonia. Like that was like I think one of the first like the second or third big JRPG like my father has like ever bought me. First would have to be Bait and Kaitos. Like I have these vivid memories that are connected to her, and as an actor now, like doing like a class with her, just seeing like the impact she's had on the community, it makes me really happy. It makes me proud. Like man, I hope one day I can do something like that too. So to see someone who had like such an iconic character who was like Bayonetta is a big character to a lot of people. That like that game probably helped people through some depression and things like that because it's a character they could like. Man, I know body pillows sell. Like, let's not cap. Like, there's some
Yeah,
people out
yeah,
there.
the body pillows sell, don't they?
there, there's
That's
some
right.
people out there who was like, man, I love Bayonetta. Like, I connect to this character, and then to have the person behind it be like, let's boycott this entire franchise on my behalf. You know what? I respect you. I'm gonna join you in that. Wait, you lied?
God damn it. Everything is a lie.
Like, never meet your heroes, right? Like,
I've heard that phrase before, and it's kind of cliche, but my response to that is always just get better heroes.
yeah, I mean, but sometimes you don't know. If somebody was a real like big Helena Taylor fan, and their whole thing was like, I'm a ride or die for Helena Taylor. Somebody made this joke. They was like, how could you like someone when the word hell is literally in their first name? I was like,
God.
I was like,
Wow.
I was like, damn, that's fucked up. I never noticed that until now though. And now I can't unsee it. Like it's like hell, Lena. It's like no. But like I imagine there's someone out there who like that was probably someone's big game, right? The first game they played, and it really meant a lot to them. And they're like, man, there's a person behind it. They have an attachment towards them. And then to watch like the person you like get eviscerated online, like just destroyed. Like first of all, they're putting her there. Like they got all these pictures with her being like, "I want justice," and now 2 days later, there's all these images of her in clown makeup and all that shit like that. Like that's terrible to like experience to see. So
And
if
I think if her goal was just to go back to theater acting, which I guess seems to be what she wants to do, I don't think anyone would have faulted her for saying, I don't want to do voice acting anymore. I just want to do theater acting.
and that's fine, but like even as a theater production, it's like I don't want to have nothing to do with you because like if
are you gonna like not be happy with one little thing and then just say all these lies about us in the press?
Are you gonna shit talk my promotion because I didn't give you this one thing?
Are you gonna shit talk everything?
Really gonna stick with her for the rest of her life, isn't it?
Are you gonna shit talk everything because we didn't give you a bowl full of red M&Ms in the green room?
I don't know. So
I forget what there's some band out there that the only way they'll do any kind of gig is if you promise to put all red M&Ms in the green room. And I forget who it is, but it's a real thing.
It was one of the old bands, if I remember.
I feel like
right.
it was one of the old hair metal bands that did that back in the day.
It was.
And they didn't actually give a shit about.
Specifically.
They didn't give a shit about the actual like M&Ms. It was like, are you actually going to do what the artists want? It was a test to see how much you cared about artists.
Did you pay attention to the contract they signed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I forget. I want to say it may have been like Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue. I can't remember, but I want to say it was one of them.
I don't know. I know recently, like I recently bought like Rock Band, the bundle, and I've been having the time of my life playing that game. I was like, yo, this was the shit back in the day. Um, I got access to all these. I mean, it has been making me feel old. I'm like, damn, this song came out in 2003.
Nowadays, when I look at like I'm going through the Spotify playlist, I'm like,
Van
damn,
Halen.
Van Halen. That's it. I knew it was one of those kinds of bands. But nowadays, when I'm going through the Spotify playlist, I'm looking at it, I'm like, this song came out in 1972. Whew! I wasn't even born.
Oh man.
God damn.
God, we're getting old.
Ain't that great?
No, it's not. Getting old is not for the faint of heart.
It's not.
Your bones start to pop and creak all the time, and I become more and more like my father every day, and I hate it. I hate it. I look in the mirror, I'm like, this is not the man I wanted to become, but it's the man I am becoming.
Some things you don't have a choice in.
Thank God I have better hair than he does.
There you go. You do have fantastic hair.
I got my mom's hair.
All right.
I think that's actually a good spot to end this on. It's kind of a downer spot to end it on, but I think it's pretty good.
No, hold on. I want to bitch about something one last time.
Oh, go ahead. We'll wrap it up
right.
after that.
So, I've been working out lately a lot more consistently.
Proud of you.
And thank you. I appreciate that.
I need to get back to the gym too.
It's been good because I've I go after work because like I'm not gonna work out and then go into work because then I'm going to work tired as hell. It's not great because I my job is all physical. So I just go after. And afterwards I feel like my workout actually makes me feel a lot better. Like my body's tired, but like after that shower, oh boy, I am feeling fine. But because I've been going a lot more consistently, there's a issue that's come up. I've been getting so goddamn hungry all the time. And I mean hungry. I thought like I've heard of it before. I thought it was like, oh, I'd be feeling a little bit more peckish or something. No, I mean I want a full goddamn 2-course meal every time.
Wants to eat a full English breakfast after every workout.
No, seriously, it's like that. And I'm just like, why am I so goddamn hungry? And I eventually put 2 and 2 together, like, oh wait, I've been working out a lot more and a lot more consistently, and I've been hitting harder every time. I'm just like, that's gonna add up. But holy shit, it sucks. And then I called my best friend, he's a personal trainer, and I'm like, yo, is this normal? Like, what's up? And he's like, no, congrats, like, this is how life's gonna be like. I'm like, how do you live like this?
All protein, bro.
Yeah,
I know. I'm gonna have to start using that, and I'm like, God damn it!
Might I suggest a protein shake after every workout?
Hold up. You can't be like, don't make it sound like it's a drug. Like it's like, oh, I'm about to start.
It kind of is.
Some people do say that they have like that workout high after an intense workout.
It's a real thing. I've gotten it a couple times, and I'm like, yo, I feel great.
Like after a hard workout, I feel pretty good about myself. It's like I just did a line of cocaine.
Okay.
I don't know about all that.
Never dabbled in cocaine, so I wouldn't know the exact feelings you're going through.
Allegedly, I've heard.
Allegedly, Alex.
Allegedly. That's a beautiful word, by the way. Allegedly.
I've heard of being on the pre-workout and making you think you could do some stuff that you probably normally couldn't, but
just like, I believe I can fly.
I've never been in a workout session that was like, you know what? I bet if I could walk, I bet if I run into this wall hard enough,
walk right through it.
I could recreate Portal 2.
Oh no!
Like it's never been that bad. I'm pretty. If you thinking like that after a workout session, it might be someone putting something in your protein bars. That's all I'm saying. Like it's a little high risk there.
But I'm proud of you, Chinoda.
Thank you.
It's something I need to do. I haven't been to the gym in like 3 months now. I really need to start going back.
How
Get
long
back
you
into it, Alex. Don't wait.
how long you been going for? Cause like
Me?
Shinoda,
Oh,
like
Uh,
how long has the process been for you?
so I started before the pandemic, like really starting to go to the gym, and then I stopped for a little bit because pandemic, and like I was just like, I ain't going in. Luckily I moved in with some roommates that had a home gym, so I started working out a little bit now and then. But like, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago is when I actually started going back into the gym because I was like, all right, I need to get back into it a lot more. And like, I've been going now and then, but over the last 4 or 5 weeks, I started getting a lot more consistent about it. So,
The key to working out is consistency. It's just making it part of your routine. Once it's part of your routine, like once you get through like the fourth month, which I know it's like 4 months of like I remember like because I diet a lot, right? And by dieting it means I just like watch what I eat, right?
yeah.
I eat like brown rice, chicken, and like a shit ton of vegetables. And my wife hated it because that's all the fuck I make her eat as well. It's like if I'm not happy, neither can you be.
that's what marriage is.
you know,
Damn.
for better or worse. Well, welcome to the worst.
We made a
So
commitment. It was better and worse.
so like for it takes like once your body adapts to it's the same way how I like started drinking sparkling water. I was like, it's like once you get over the fact that this tastes like shit,
It tastes like static.
it's really not so bad. Right? You just gotta adapt to it. So keep going towards it. Um, to deal with hunger sensations, eat peanut butter.
Mm,
Peanut butter is good.
just
I
like
don't know if you're I don't know
pure
if you're
protein.
allergic to it, but
No, no, no. I used to eat a whole bunch of peanut butter. It's been a while.
This
Been
man is like a fucking vacuum when it comes to food. He don't discriminate.
get a peanut butter sandwich. There's a lot of stuff that can fill you up. Like oatmeal is one of them. Peanut butter is one of those things. If you need like a light snack, uh, tuna tuna sandwich, like light on mayo. That's really good. Um, I hate that I'm now becoming your best friend with this fitness advice. It's like, bro, this is all you need.
Welcome
like,
to
hey,
your
look,
nutritionist.
I'll take advice. I don't mind.
like the whole goal is to really just like help like deal with those cravings. If you can deal with those cravings, you'll be fine. Like you're just adapting to it. Once you adapt to it enough,
And don't do what I did last night. Is
yeah,
succumb
don't
to
do
the
crack.
craving and order.
Oh,
No, not that. No, and order Chinese food, which now I have a lot of in my fridge and I have to eat.
and if you do that, which I don't suggest you do, break it up in part, like break it up in pieces, eat quarters of it. If you
Oh, that's actually really good advice. Yeah.
whatever like the whole idea is to break your bad eating habits, and it's easier said than done. So what you could do is make portions out of it. So if you eat a lot of one thing that's not good for you, make it a portion of it. Just try to like weed your way out of it. But it's better
Yeah.
than instead of eating a whole donut, eat a half a donut, right? Instead of eating a whole cheesecake, eat half of one, right? And your body will start adapting. Like, okay, cool. Maybe I can make a portion of this now.
The first
Takes a
few
little bit
days
of
you'll be
time.
really hungry, but you'll get used to it.
Yeah.
It's honestly the hardest part about all this that I found. Like, working out, it's simple. It's easy to do. It's the actual eating part that's hard. It's like, holy
Eating
shit.
eating is
That
the
requires some real discipline.
the eating habits are the hardest part of losing weight and getting fit, and it's the easiest part of getting fat.
You know what? You do
It's so cursed.
eat veggie. I don't know, man. Eat veggie burgers. Like I like eat plant.
Like black bean burgers.
Yeah, those are
I
those
do
are
enjoy those. Those are really tasty.
Mm.
like I said. It's all about the diet, man. Once you get your diet in order and stuff like that, once you figure out like, cause I don't know if you plan a calorie count. That works for some people. I personally hate the idea of being like, how much does this go up to? But I do know in the course of a day, I'm not going over a certain amount. I'm not
Mm.
counting everything, but my like I eat pretty much the same thing every day. I have some wheat waffles, some eggs with a bunch of veggies mixed in, ground turkey sausage, If for dinner I'm eating brown rice, veggies, and some chicken.
It sounds like a pretty good.
Yeah, it's very sensible meals.
I
Yeah.
mean, it is, but like by by the 67th time,
It
you
becomes
know,
old.
this is like, hey, what the fuck?
I'm curious, how are the wheat waffles? Because I've never actually heard of someone eating those. Like, I know of them, but I never actually met someone who eats them.
They're fine. I don't like. There's like, here's the thing. Whatever you normally eat, like there's a substitution for ice cream. Like there's a
Yeah.
substitution for everything. Wheat waffles are great. I have no problem with them whatsoever. To the point where if I eat a regular waffle, I'll be like, "Huh, what's all the shit in it now?"
I would
so
say if there's anything like in particular you should try and cut out or at least count is sugar, processed sugar. That'll make you
Sugar.
gain weight like a motherfucker.
and bread, carbs.
Yeah, carbs in general, but sugar for sure.
I actually haven't drank soda in a while. Like,
No,
I
but
don't.
you did just
I
eat
don't
half a
normally.
cheesecake in front of us.
I did. No, I was talking about soda. Thank you very much.
I know, but it don't matter if you didn't drink a soda. You ate a cheesecake.
And damn, was it a good cheesecake. I don't plan on cutting stuff out, more moderating how much I eat or when.
That's also something I find personally helpful when I'm because eventually you're gonna crave sweets. Like it's unavoidable.
I'm a chocolate addict. Like, I
the
need my
sweets you
chocolate.
have worth it. Like make it something you don't always have. Don't make it like the donuts from the donut shop across the street. Make it like mom's apple pie that she made.
Substitute things with fruit, man. Fruit is great.
Fruit
Oh,
can
I
also
love fruit. I love fruit.
apples, peaches, pears, things like that. They're really good for sweet cravings.
Just want to thank everyone for checking out our fitness, health
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Thank you for coming to the Anime Club After Dark Fitness podcast.
We give you basic life advice on just eating healthy or fitness.
Even you can get rid. No.
All right, you bunch of weebs, go to the gym, touch grass.
Actually, if we're talking directly to weebs, just get a shower for fuck's sake. That's a big part of fitness is cleanliness. And I've been to enough anime conventions. I know y'all don't shower. I know y'all don't shower like you should.
Crazy, bro.
It still reminds me of the last Otakon where, like, the most, like, wild, outlandish comment I got was from a vendor. They were like, huh, you smell really nice. And I'm like, thank you, I showered.
Yeah,
I was
showered
just so
before I
caught
came
off
here.
guard by that.
Thank you for noticing that I actually bathe.
Like, the dude was almost tearing up, and I was like, okay.
That just goes to show you how stinky most weebs are. He's like, you come in there, you smell halfway decent, and he's like, oh, thank God. I don't have to hold my breath for
that
it
was
anymore.
great.
All right, I definitely think that's a great place to stop,
Yeah.
though, because I got to get ready. I think all of us got to get ready for stuff. So, thank you, Burger, for stopping by. We always love having you on. One of these days, I want to have both you and Yara on here because I think that would be fucking fantastic.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yara was an absolute joy to have on the episode of the podcast.
I know she is. Yara's great.
Where we talked about like hentai voice acting. I want to have both of you on at some point, whether it's for an episode or just on a WTF. It'll be absolutely amazing. Thank you everyone out there who stopped by to watch. The VOD will be available as always in probably a couple hours on YouTube. I wasn't able to dual stream this time. I've been having some issues with dual streaming and I wanted to play it safe. The audio version will also be up on both Spotify and SoundCloud later this evening. Oh, before we go, Burger, you got anything to promote or plug or the podcast group, the thing that we're doing?
Yes. Closing credits. VC Podcast Network. Go to Closing Credits is a voiceover school. It's connected to Casting Call Club,
which you teach at.
Department. Anime After Dark. We both. I've created a podcast network for podcasts where basically the school is going to promote it, and I need everyone's support. So if you're interested in it, you want to see the shows that are connected to it, you can go on closingcredits.com. There's a tab that says Podcast Network there. My podcast is there. Alice Podcast there as well.
There's a few others there as well.
It's a lot of other great shows. The After Party, Wilhelmina Edmonds podcast. The Wolf Court with David. David Wolf is his name. That's literally how he talks.
That's great.
It's a great radio voice right there.
It's bloody fantastic. I'm so invigorated with the amount of information I found out here today. I love it.
Oh, Chino's about to piss his pants.
I'm like, man, you sound like a refined version of the Cookie Monster. I'm like, no, I don't want.
He's dead. We've killed him.
Don't you understand? I'm a diabetic at this point. I do not want cookies. Please. It's crepes for me now. He's great. Name is David. Fantastic person. It's ever growing. If you want to follow me, you can check me out. I'm on Twitter at BurgerVO. Check out the podcast called Geeks in the City with a Z.
I'll put the link to all your Geeks in the City stuff down below in the description on YouTube and SoundCloud, Spotify.
Appreciate it. Check out the AFK Arena anime, Just to Spare Your Things. That was my first anime I've ever been in. I'm in almost every episode doing background stuff, and I play Hogan, and I play this character named Stitchy. I do not have a lot of AFK lore, so if you know who those people are, good for you. Please don't challenge me on it. I now understand when people be like, man, you just gave me a script and I read it. That's exactly
they gave me a script and they said, we'll give you money.
And that was it. I don't know anything else about the franchise. I don't know shit. But I'm very happy to be in it, and I'm very happy to be part of it. That's my story. But thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We'll definitely have to have you on again. We got to get you on another episode of the podcast at some point as well, not just for WTFs. I'm sure we'll do another episode where we talk about something related to voice acting at some point. Be great to have you on for that. I'm trying to think do I have anything to announce. Check out our Discord server if you haven't already, where I have the stream schedule posted for this week. And the next WTF is going to be a very special WTF on January 2nd. Trust me, our pain will be your pleasure. That's all I'm going to say. I can't wait for Chino to just call me a bitch the entire time.
Hey, look, me and John are gonna last the longest. Let's be very real.
I know,
but y'all
we're bitches.
But even we're not that great compared. Y'all will see what we're talking about.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good experience.
Tune in
for you guys, not us.
Tune in on January 2nd to watch us just writhe in pain for your pleasure while answering a bunch of your questions as best we can. I think I said it already. Thank you everyone who stopped by. Thank you everyone who watches the VOD after the fact. I have been Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, guys.
Bye. Have a good
day.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, Oni-chan, peace. God, it's so cursed.
Alright, cut it.